Hey guys, Island Turtle here. Welcome to BOMISpirit. Sorry that it was glitching out on me, so I was just like try to adjust here. Anyway, hi, welcome. So normally I would say this is the weekly intuitive astrology messages for July 7th to the 13th. We're going to go about it a little differently than we normally do. Today is 7/7, so happy portal day for those who are acknowledging that. Um, Also, we do have the full moon in Capricorn this week. We also have Juno going direct in Scorpio this week. Mercury will officially go retrograde in Leo next week. Okay. So there are some things I do want to talk about today, especially just given the nature of the day. There's been a lot of talk going on about today and the astrology around it. And I will touch on all of that. I will touch on all of that. I don't know. It's going to be interesting because what is portal day? Portal days, a lot of people feel that, like 2/2, 3/3, 4/4 are days where there's almost a little bit more of a thinning of the veil, if you will. So it's easier to kind of make things happen that otherwise would be a little more difficult to make things happen, or they treat them like gateways. It's just a thought form. Doesn't have to be a truth that you resonate with, but I know that some people honor that. So speaking to those who do honor that, happy portal day. Okay. Um, mm. It's interesting getting into this live today because actually, yeah, let's just start the timestamp here. Hold on a second. Also, if you're waiting for the timestamps, please wait for the live to be over and actually give me like some time to actually put the timestamps in. Some people are a little impatient about that. So just letting you guys know. Also, don't forget to check out Patreon and the website and stuff like that. Another little quick announcement, I will be live this week on Patreon for the full moon Capricorn hangout, most likely Wednesday. It's not looking well aspected for tomorrow, just with everything that's going on. So most likely Wednesday I will be live with my patrons. If any patrons are here, now you know. Is there anything else I want to say in terms of those kinds of things? I don't think so. But kind of coming back to the nature of the day. Now, one of the biggest things that a lot of people are speaking about today is that Uranus is now in Gemini and is conjunct Venus, while both of them are trine Pluto. So this is part of the minor grand trine of remembrance that I've been talking about for months. Venus is basically just joining Uranus in that little segment of it. This minor grand trine is between Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus. Saturn has been with Neptune for a bit and is still there, so also part of this grand trine, minor grand trine, excuse me. And Uranus has also been with Sedna as part of this minor grand trine, and now Venus is there. So again, it's like these energies are they're not really new. like we've been in it for a while. It's just Venus is adding an interesting component, and also Uranus moving into Gemini adds another interesting component here. Okay. I will circle back to the astrology in a minute. I just want to talk about some experiences that may be going on for some people today. And there's definitely a spectrum, right? Because Uranus moving into Gemini. Sorry, there's just been a lot that I've been feeling today, especially in terms of how much talk and chatter there has been around some of these transits. And also I want to say how much fear mongering has been going on around some of these transits. Now, if you're new to my channel, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe and share and all that good stuff. Anyway, a lot of you who follow me for a while know that while I do love astrology, and I obviously talk about astrology, astrology is not the nail in the coffin. Astrology is not anything you should be relinquishing your own free will to, or your power of choice to, or your beliefs to. Astrology is a really interesting study, right, of just kind of looking at windows of patterns and energy that we are influenced by, but it's not the only influence, right? We also have choice. We have choice and we have free will. First and foremost. And so just kind of putting that out there, if you're new and you've been kind of like worried or scared about what some people have been saying, especially about Uranus going into Gemini. Now, there have been a lot of people who've been talking about the really good things about today and some of these transits where Venus is concerned. I mean, we'll talk about that. But I do think it's important to discuss this. So Uranus moving into Gemini, there have been a lot of people speaking to the historical significance of, especially in the United States, where when Uranus has been in Gemini, these like major pivotal wars that have happened here in the States. And while that is true, it's not the full picture. And there are plenty of times war has happened where Uranus has not been in Gemini. I just put that out there because yes, there's a lot going on in the world right now. There's a lot going on in our country right now, for the, for fellow Americans who are watching here. But again, power of free will and choice. And so on that note, I am going to discuss a little bit about some of the astrology of these like big milestone moments that a lot of astrologers are talking about. This is not going to be a deep dive, but I want to offer a different lens. Hi, buddy. So I actually made some space for him today. We'll see if he like takes it. We'll see. Oh, he is. Oh, buddy. Good. I know, because you just want to be close to me. I know. So also, if you guys are new, I have a kitty cat. I am a cat mom. And he loves to be in the mix because he is my familiar and he is a magic kitty and he works the room. Okay. So yeah, I think this will actually work really nicely. Unfortunately, you guys will not see him on camera with him being here, but that's okay. Anyway, so I can see some of the comments about people who have been going through a lot of emotions. That's part of the nature of the day, and I promise I will come back to that. I just think it's important to talk about some of this historical significance really quickly, okay? That being said, let me do a timestamp just for that. Historical. Now, the three main events, at least in American history, that people are highlighting in the astrology community are World War II, the American Revolution, and Civil War. Okay. If you look into it, if you look at, if you pull up the charts for those days of the beginning and the end, it is kind of an interesting picture, right? And so I am not negating the pattern. I'm not negating the pattern, but everything goes in cycles. And with cycles, we also grow and we also learn. And also because of the power of choice, different things can happen, different things can play out, right? And I have faith too, as well, that a lot of us are aware that we're in such a new paradigm, right? That we haven't seen in eons, really, is what I want to say, on some level anyway. And so even just knowing that, it's like, yes, this is the pattern. These are the cycles. This is like the turning of the wheel. But, but, we're in times of unprecedented change that I would say actually, what's the word I'm looking for, are greater than what was going on during these times. But let's go over it. So let's start with the American Revolution for obvious reasons, right? In the American Revolution, yes, Uranus was in Gemini. The North Node was in Virgo, which is interesting, right? Because the North Node is in Pisces right now. And so something, actually, before I continue, something I did notice is that the axes, very similar axes were highlighted during these moments in time, and you'll see what I mean as we go through it. And so I do think there is something interesting there, okay? But North Node was in Virgo at that time. Well, right now it's in Pisces, right? It's opposite of the wheel. Neptune was in Virgo as well. Neptune's now in Aries, but still fresh in Aries, so still kind of, not too far away from that like particular axis. Chiron was in Aries, where it is now. Sedna, however, the reason I'm highlighting Sedna so much, and a lot of you who've been following me for a long time know why I'm highlighting Sedna. Sedna has been such a fascinating, and I want to say really overlooked celestial body in terms of what we have experienced as a collective in recent years. And with Sedna also being an early degrees Gemini, working with Uranus, and has been for a little bit, also working with a fixed star called Alcyone, and we'll circle back to that as it pertains to Uranus. Sedna has such a long orbit cycle. I meant to look it up before I went live, but I ran out of time, just being honest with you. But it has a massively long orbit cycle, so much so that even looking back into these years, like at the American Revolution, Sedna was only in Pisces, and it has only been in Gemini for a couple years now, right? So you can like do the math on that, right? But Sedna is this, if you're not familiar, Sedna is this primordial origin celestial body. Sedna is all about the origins of what comes from the depths, right? And when it moves into a sign, it activates themes around that particular sign in terms of its origins, right? So with it being in Gemini, it has actually been one of the main reasons we have had this remembrance energy coming up so prominently. At least it's just my lens. I'm not saying it's absolutely true. It's just how I've been observing it. Pluto has been a huge part of that as well with being an Aquarius. But Gemini being truth, right? Fractals of truth, infinite truths in a weird way. Knowledge, communication, connections, even. And with Sedna being in Gemini, we've been able to extract some lost truth from the void, right? Individually and also collectively. And while Uranus has been working with this, Uranus has been activating this to come to the surface. And now that Uranus is actually in Gemini, that's magnified. I meant to put a title on this. I literally was going to say magnification. I don't even know if that's a word. Magnifying glass. That'll be the name of this live. Magnifying glass, I think, is a good word for what we're experiencing today, in particular on 7/7, but also for this week, especially with the full moon in Capricorn and some other things going on. But let's circle back to Sedna and Uranus. So I know you're just so adorable. He's being such a ham right now. He's like showing me his belly. Anyway, Uranus helping Sedna to even bring this up in a more potent way. And now with it being in Gemini, that is magnified even more so. Alcyone. Alcyone is a very well-known fixed star that sits in the Pleiades cluster in the Taurus constellation, the shoulder of the bull, if I'm not mistaken. That fixed star, for most astrologers, they look at it as having a Jupiterian nature. So benefic, expansive, right? Just and more amplification. But with Alcyone, one of the things that really stands out to me about what can come with the energy of this fixed star is revealing hidden things, revealing hidden secrets. So again, more of this remembrance. So just to reiterate, Uranus moving into Gemini, it's just taking that to a whole new level. And we will be in it for a while. I meant to look this up too, but I ran out of time. Uranus will retrograde at some point, and I do believe it will retrograde back into Taurus. And then we're going to have a little bit of that like transient period of time of it going back into Gemini to get a little bit more settled there. But I want to offer this lens, right? Because that's kind of unique to where we are now in this point in time compared to these other historical events around wars and Uranus and Gemini. Okay. That being said, at the time of the American Revolution, Sedna was in Pisces, which is also kind of interesting to me because it's like void with the void. right? Void with the void. And it actually has this like, I don't know, when I tuned into it, I was like, this is an interesting flavor. Because it almost had this vibe of like deep karmic energy, actually, like really deep karmic energy. Almost like how do I want to say this? Healing comes with that too, because it's Pisces, but it felt almost scorpionic because it has this primordial component to it. I don't know. It felt kind of like, I don't have a word. I don't have a word for it. Not gringy. That's not a word. I'm making up words now. Anyway, that it has an interesting flavor to it that I thought was just fascinating. But moving on to the Civil War, Uranus was in Gemini. But Sedna was at the final degree of Pisces. Talk about karmic, right? And we've spoken on this before, at least on Patreon. That final degree of the zodiac, Pisces 29 degrees. There is a fixed star there called Sheet, which actually speaks to the significance of coming to the end of the wheel to go back again, right? So it does speak of karmic energy, but it also speaks of, have you learned, right? Have you learned what you needed to learn? Do you need to be humbled, whatever, right? But it just speaks to what happens when we get to that point of a cycle. So Sedna being there at the beginning of the Civil War, I think also kind of highlights this, like, again, I don't have a word. Gringy is all I can come up with, which I know is not a word. It's my word. I make up words all the time, actually, now that I think about it. But anyway, so Sedna highlighting this as we are ushered into the Civil War, not to mention at that time, Neptune was exactly conjunct Sedna at that last degree of Pisces, which, yes, does have a little bit of a reflection of where we've been at, right? Neptune moved out of Pisces. I don't remember when now. Time is so weird. I think sometime in spring is when that took place. But having Neptune there, it's like that really amplifies emotions around the coming to the end of a cycle into something else, but especially in terms of what have you learned and where are you at karmically, especially when it comes to the collective, right? This is again at the beginning of the Civil War. The other thing that I noticed there is that the North Node was in Capricorn. And for the American Revolution, North Node was in Virgo. So both of them had like earthy North Node energies. We have a water North Node right now which I think is also kind of speaks to something interesting that even, you know, these are just things, patterns I'm noticing. I don't even have a full understanding of the patterns yet, but there's clearly a pattern there, right? Um, Chiron was actually the first degree of Pisces. Um, so just noting that, just giving you information. I honestly didn't feel much there. I like to keep track of Chiron and with events like this because of obvious trauma that takes place with right, like historical events like this. But the North Node being an Earth signs really did stick out to me, and especially again the implication of that final degree of Pisces in terms of the Civil War. And then we go to World War II, and Uranus actually was in Taurus. It did eventually go into Gemini during World War II, um, which obviously when Uranus is in Taurus, there is a lot of change that goes on economically in terms of money and things that we value and prioritize and ethics and our sense of foundations, right? Which we have already gone through. Like that was a key celestial body, a key transit actually during COVID, right? When we had Saturn squaring off Uranus a lot. And I actually, I feel like there were quite a few astrologers that were also speaking to that at the time, although time is so weird, it almost feels like COVID didn't even happen in some weird ways. But what else was going on during World War II? The North Node was in Virgo, which is where it was during the American Revolution, when the American Revolution started. Also very fascinating. Chiron was in Leo, so a fellow fire sign compared to the American Revolution. Neptune was at the final degree of Virgo. So again, we have these like themes and patterns of Virgo, Pisces, a little bit of Aries, a little bit of Libra. And yes, Uranus and Gemini is the key component here. But at that time, Sedna was in, oh shoot, did I not even write that down? Sedna was in Aries. Sedna was in Aries at that time, which is also interesting too in and of itself, right? Because Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It's the initiating force. It's that masculine emperor war Martian energy coming up from the depths, right? So again, fascinating. Sedna, I believe, was also in Aries during World War I as well, but it's in Gemini now. So again, I'm not saying this is going to happen. That is going to happen. That's contingent upon everybody's free will choices on this planet, okay? Including people who have, you know, the access to make decisions around these kinds of things. That's how I'm like being very careful with my phrasing there. But like I said before, having Sedna conjunct Uranus in this way where it has been allowing lost truths and lost knowing of self and knowing of what was and what could be knowledge, lost knowledge and information, I think adds a really empowering component to where we're at now collectively versus these moments in time that also seem to be just trenched in karmic energies around that Piscean energy, you know? Yeah. So I think it is just really fascinating. But again, just offering a little bit of a different lens there. Let's come back to what some of you guys may be experiencing during this time. Hold on a second. Just writing down the timestamp. Feelings. Now that Uranus is in Gemini. So I'm going to share you my experience so far to give some context. And also, if any of you are feeling the same thing, that you're not feeling so alone, to understand a little bit of the roller coaster of today. Uranus moving into Gemini brings this intensity, catalytic, electric energy and awareness to words, to thoughts, to the mind, to relationships, and it is intense. When we had Jupiter move into Gemini, I had such a hard time grounding, and I've been talking about it for a little bit, especially my patrons, of like, oh God, when Uranus goes into Gemini, I'm just gonna have a constant headache. It's kind of been a little bit like that already. So I feel like there's been just a smidgen of a break from Jupiter going into Cancer and like waiting for Uranus to move into Gemini. But to say, like, saying that, some of you may have a little bit of a harder time grounding at this time. Some of you may feel like your mind just has so much going on. Some of you may feel even just a lot of like pressure or a lot of like energy like around your upper chakras. Racing thoughts could be part of this as well. Rebellious thoughts could be part of this as well. Something else that also is crucial that was brought to my attention about Uranus being in Gemini, and when I say brought to my attention, I mean through spirit, okay, through my own practice and meditations. We have been, the last couple years, we have been encouraged to master the mind collectively, to master our own thoughts, to master our mind, so that we don't have such distortion influencing us, so that we are not so disempowered by what's going on in the external, so that we remember, right? We remember who we are and what we're actually capable of. So we remember truth, whether you look at that as spirit or yourself or whatever. This minor grand trine of remembrance has also been helping us with that. But this started a couple years ago. And now that Uranus is in Gemini and we have this like magnifying glass of the mind, it also has this like amplified effect of our mind as well. So what we say, what we think, what we believe has a stronger impact on other people, has a stronger impact on reality. This is why it's so important to have this kind of level of mastery. And I know this sounds all like serious. Play, you know, life should be about play and all that good stuff too. I'm not discounting that. But I do think this is important to be aware of, because we do impact our reality and we do impact people around us, even if people want to think that we don't. Everybody does. It just is the consequence of being in a collective. I gave this cat so, I almost said I gave this man, I gave this cat so much space. And he's like finding interesting ways to take up even more space. Anyway. So this is a time where you may feel more bold in what you want to say. You may feel more bold in your opinions, and you may not want to hold back as much. And you shouldn't necessarily. But just be aware that the way people receive that, are influenced by that, is magnified. This also goes, and you know, vice versa, right? It's like, this is also why it is so important to know how to hold yourself and hold your center. When people come around and they want to say this, do this, project shit onto you. Also very Gemini, actually, very shadow Gemini. So that you're not as impacted by that and you are not as swayed by that, right? So just be wary. Also, some of you may already be doing this naturally, right? Where maybe you are feeling like you're ready to say the thing that needs to be said, or even the opposite. Maybe you're feeling the need to be a little bit more silent and like think about your words a little bit more. In terms of relationships, this is where the Venus component comes into, particularly for today, but it is kind of setting the tone, so to speak. It's setting the tone for the week and also for the full moon. Excuse me. For the full moon, and it's also coming on the back end of an interesting gateway that did happen 4th of July. God, there's so much information to talk about here. I'll give the innate, explicit astrology stuff, and then we'll get into the meta stuff, okay? So Uranus conjunct Sedna, conjunct Venus in Gemini, trine Pluto, sextile Saturn, Neptune conjunction. It's a lot of big heavy hitter celestial bodies up in here, right? What this is also doing is it is highlighting, yes, like relationship cycles and lessons and karmic loops and all that, because Venus and Pluto, right? Like we know this. But also because there's so much about remembrance that's tied to this. Oh God, spirit, slow down. Way too much information. That's also Uranus Gemini. Too much information. Just too much. Slow shit down. This is a day that is setting the tone to make massively different choices and strides in your relationship experiences and how you communicate with people, okay? That's more like on the surface. And again, just to highlight, yes, this can come as well with like closing certain patterns and cycles with relationships that you are so over and so done with. Some people will even imply that this is like past life stuff that like you can be done with at this time. If you ascribe to that, you ascribe to that. Again, so much information. I want to get more into like the meta stuff here in a minute. The other thing that was being highlighted to me is the power of choice. That is also very Gemini. It's the power of choice and feeling more aware and bold in your choices, and that you don't have to be limited. This is also the beautiful part, actually, of Uranus being in Gemini. Uranus doesn't play by the rules. Uranus doesn't ever want to play by the rules. Neither does Gemini. right? So in a way, they do kind of like make nice bedfellows there. And again, the boldness. Some of you may be really feeling that today of like you were just freaking done with some things. Now, I did pick up again on a spectrum of how some people may be experiencing this because I was almost getting this feeling of like people who've been on the precipice of making big decisions finally are like, oh, I can do this. I can make this leap. I can make this jump now. But people who've been resisting, we've had a lot, let me back up. We've had a lot of windows here for quite a while of shedding the unaligned things, shedding and releasing and walking away from things that we know deep down in our soul, deep down on our in our bones, on a cellular level, that we really should not be entertaining anymore. We shouldn't be engaging in anymore, and we need to have the courage to break free from. This has been going on for a very long time. Many of us here, if you've been watching me for a while, you've done your thing. Also, why I think a lot of people who have been watching me for a while and who are aligned with me, you probably are feeling really good today. You may be feeling some bursts of emotion. We'll come back to that too. And some intensity, a little up and down. We'll talk about that. But for the most part, I think people who have been, again, aligned with me for a while, some of you are finally able to make some big decisions that you've been straddling. And some of you have already done that. You're just feeling good today. So do your thing. But there's definitely a big portion of the collective that have been resisting and resisting and resisting and resisting. This magnifying glass on Gemini, Uranus, and Venus with this like remembrance part, there is no hiding from the intensity of the resistance that has taken place, right? So for those people, they may be feeling exhausted. They may be feeling really overwhelmed, really like freaked out, scared, stressed out. I keep getting like Four of Swords though with that, almost like laid out for some people, even maybe even like getting sick. And it's not a punishment. It's not like, oh, you didn't do this, so you're gonna experience bad things. That's not what I'm speaking to. When we resist and we ignore the natural flow of things, we ignore truth, our truth, we ignore what our true essence is, we ignore our true alignment, energy becomes imbalanced, energy becomes dense, energy becomes heavy, and that just has an impact on us, right? And so you may notice this with people around you. And speaking to that as well, right, with making certain choices here and also being bold in not honoring certain restrictions or parameters or rules anymore. Again, this is like the unconventional breaking out and making those big choices and doing things on your terms as part of this energy too, which is also really beautiful. You may also realize there's gonna be a lot of people who fall away if they haven't already, or there's been some sort of dissonance or something just hasn't felt right in your spirit. That's also part of this too. Okay. Now, I want to talk a little bit more about, I know I'm talking meta stuff already. I want to talk about this progression of energy. Running out of room. Buddy, I I need some space. I need some space here. Mm. Okay. So sorry, I was like trying to catch myself for like where I'm at and all speaking about all this stuff. So like I mentioned, there is a gateway that opened on 4th of July, right? And today is obviously a really intense day, a really important day. Full moon is as well. Leading up to the 4th of July, I was speaking about these downloads I was getting about the red path, the white path, the blue path, and then this like pink path that was emerging, this higher heart energy that was emerging. Now, how do I want to say this? Hold on. Because I did see some comments, and I think most of you were very encouraging and also felt a lot of resonance, which I do appreciate, by the way, when you do leave those comments. I don't read them all, just for mental health reasons. I don't look at the comment section too often. But when I see those, again, I'm grateful. So I just want to like share my gratitude for that. But I also could see where there was some projections going on, a little bit of misunderstanding here. When I'm speaking in these terms, this is the way spirit communicates through me, right? Everything is energy, everything's a frequency, right? And often they do use colors for me because colors are just representations of frequencies, right? Literally just different vibrations to get the main message across. And yes, of course, everything is one, everything is coexisting all at once, everything is truly one vibration, but we are in a physical reality, right? We are in a physical reality, which means there comes this experience with physicality of, oh, I am here and you're over there, right? This is here, this is there. That's just what it means to exist in physical reality. So when I was speaking to this like pink path, vibration, frequency, timeline, all the same thing, really. However you're perceiving it, whatever word aligns with you, it's all relatively the same thing. This higher heart energy, yes, it does relate to the higher heart chakra, but you may just be perceiving it as a timeline. You may just be perceiving it as a feeling, right? Everyone's different. Semantics, I know, Gemini. I'm just like, what? This is my thing though with words, and a lot of you know. This is why I try to be careful with how I word things, because words are so fucking primitive. They really are. Sorry, excuse my French. I'm a little revved up today, if you can't tell. I'm a little intense today. Words are just so primitive. And I do believe we will get to a day where we all just communicate everyone's minds. We don't have to say a word to each other. Although there's something powerful about sound. But anyway, this higher heart, pink energy, path, blah, 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 whatever, that I've been speaking to, it is this higher octave is how a new word they're giving me. They give me new words all the time to bypass people's programming. Just being frank about it. This higher octave, I think that's how you'd say that, of love, of compassion, of empathy, of peace, of understanding, right? Not everyone's experiencing that. Again, I speak to certain parts of the collective here, right? These are messages that are meant for you guys to receive. So it's just what wants to move through me. With that though, embodying this energy, experiencing this energy, frequency, timeline, blah, 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 blah. There are certain things that cannot coexist there, okay? That cannot coexist with that energy. And so again, this energy actually was seated in this chunk of the collective, this collective of the collective, around summer solstice. When I put out the sound activation, transmission of the rising, right? That's when it was seated. And then right before we went into 4th of July, I want to say more like July 1st, I was told it was fertilized, which meant it's getting more solid, it's getting more stable, which meant a lot of people were going to start feeling it. And then came 4th of July, and that's when we all started to feel it in our own individual ways, right? However that comes through for you. Now, that being said, when you really start to feel it, you can look at this as as codes, activations, whatever, it doesn't matter. But as we embody these energies, the things that are not aligned must go, which means they become more obvious. They become more potent. The energies that need to leave because they're leaving, right? When these energies dissipate or leave, or we are, transitioning in this way, they need to be recognized. That's part of the leaving, right? But the energies that I was getting that were leaving, being dissolved, etc., that cannot go to this, like with this higher heart energy, I was a little floored and kind of like bothered, but it is what it is. They were these very like devouring, hungry energies, and we have been talking about that for weeks now. A lot of it was coming up in terms of like hungry, devouring, like feminine energy specifically. And maybe you don't resonate with that, and that's okay. This is just another lens for people who are experiencing it and with using their language for them to discern that and for them to get that confirmation. You may have been experiencing it as people who are parasitic, or energies that are parasitic, or like leaks in your field even. This can even be by way of habits. This can be by way of disempowerment. This can be by way of people. For a lot of people, I think that had like a lot of mother stuff was coming up, or like, again, devouring relationships with like feminine energies, which can be men too, or even just women. They stopped me for a minute. Why? They wanted me to slow down. Okay. Thank you. Some of you may have been experiencing this as spiritual attacks. I'm not going to say they weren't. I think that's how some people have been experiencing it, perceiving it. Because again, when these energies are leaving, they become obvious. They become loud because they need to leave. And this is also where we need to have discipline and discernment and accountability to not hold on to those energies and not give too much attention to them because they're just being loud, right? Because they're leaving. And of course, if you feel like you need to do things to feel more centered in yourself, more solid, more contained, like, cleansing rituals, protection things, whatever, like do your thing, right? We have these tools for a reason. These tools, these rituals, these practices, they just help us to maintain our focus on staying in alignment, really, is what these practices are for. But now that we are here at 7/7, my practice today was really interesting in terms of some of these energies, because like they kicked up around July 4th. But for the collective that I've like been holding space for, whew, man, they still be loud. They still be loud, they still be loud, they still be loud. And so if you are resonating with what I'm saying, whether it's like people coming up in your awareness or old memories, again, old habits, addictions and vices and things can be part of this too, or ways we disempower ourselves. I encourage any sort of like practice that again helps to offer some sense of like safety and cleansing and all that stuff, but more so like practices that help you to stay really focused on looking forward. Okay, looking forward and holding on to these frequencies and these feelings and these your own awareness or your own vision, even they're saying vision, your own vision of what it is to be in this kind of frequency of this higher heart energy. I saw a lot of white light come through this morning and I was like, whoa, okay. It's like, okay. I do have a little bit of a affirmation actually. Hold on a second. Where are we at? For those who would benefit from that, I am light, I am free, I am in the garden. If you want to tweak that for yourself, tweak it for yourself. But like I said, as this was given to me, I was just seeing like so much white light and even like a white flame, which I don't think I've seen before. And it felt very much just like offering containment, and a little bit more of that like dissolving sort of energy. I would even say for those who resonates with working with the sun today, if you, I know we're a little late in the day for some people. It's never too late. It's never too late. Do it tomorrow, whatever. Working with the sun this week, I think would also benefit a lot of people this time, just because the sun is also just very healing and feels really good. But also it is fire and actually does help with cleansing and calibrating and what have you, giving that life back to yourself here. Okay. The other thing is too, with all of this like mastery of the mind and words and power of choice and this magnification of the power of our words and all this stuff. How do I want to say? As we move forward, hold on, let me see if they'll bring it back. I know they're saying I need to slow down. I'm trying. It's really hard when you have this much information. Oh. Thank you. To be more accountable to where your energy is leaking. Okay. That's how you maintain your container of self, of your life, your field, whatever word you want to use. Semantics. I think someone said it perfectly. Semantics. And what I mean by that is what you give your energy and focus to. We live in a physical reality, like I said. We are going to have to give our energy and focus to things that are in our external world. It's just part of being in a physical reality. But to be aware of what those things are and how much, right? And even how much people expect of you is another part of that. Just for those where that applies, I think you would know who you are, right? It's like if you struggle with like feeling drained or exhausted or people pull on you, whatever, you know how it is. You know how it is. Anything else to mention here, Spirit? Thank you. So from now until the full moon Capricorn, like I said, I will be live on Patreon most likely Wednesday for the full moon Cappy hangout. I looked into the astrology for it. It's actually not that different from today, with the exception that Venus will have moved on out of the minor grand trine of remembrance. But this information, full moon Capricorn is working very closely with the North Node. I was like, oh, Oh, not bad. Just like whoa. Just very whoa. We also have some activity between Mars and Lilith and Juno. This is where we're getting into also just some of the astrology for the week here, which I'll get to in a second, but I want to make this point. Actually, no, they said just talk about it now. Okay, hold on a second. He keeps getting annoyed that I'm like using my desk. That's why I have a desk. That's why I have a desk. So the impact of today, we've discussed it. Use this day as you will with this information I've given you, and also your own resonance and what you feel for yourself. But as we get into full moon Capricorn, July 10th, July 10th, that full moon with North Node, if we already didn't have enough unfolding with Uranus now being in Gemini in this minor grand trine of remembrance, along with some other energies I'm going to talk about in a minute, but that is very much like just soul alignment of like fate and destiny and dharma, like very much so, and being very clear about that. Yeah, just being very clear about that. And especially in terms of Capricorn, that's devotion, that's commitment, that's ambition, that's dedication, that's work, that's legacy, that's the future, right? So it's just exciting. It's just exciting. There's going to be a lot of feeling of like synchronicity and fate going on this week, as if we didn't already have enough of that. But that full moon Cappy, definitely part of that. And if any of you are resonating more with the people who've like really resisted making certain choices or changes, no judgment, we've all been there. Change is hard. Change is really hard, especially if you have a fixed sign, but change can be really hard. This full moon is going to be a great window to do that, to face that, to confront that if you haven't been doing the work to do so already. That being said, talking a little bit more about the astrology of this week. So yeah, let's talk about Mars and Lilith and Juno. That had me so excited. Mars is still in Virgo and is sextile Lilith and Juno, both of them being in Scorpio. Virgo and Scorpio are such an interesting combination, right? Because both of them have like a fixation, both of them have a focus to detail. While Scorpio is more about like the focus on, actually, Scorpio does focus on like tangible details as well, like the puzzle, right? Scorpio likes to focus on the puzzle, figure out the puzzle. Virgo likes to put the puzzle together, right? Which is also a great, just like duo, energetically speaking. But again, commitment is part of this too. Dedication is part of this too. Cultivation is part of this too, because it's Virgo, right? And then the Mars energy behind it is like, let's get this done. Let's get this going. Let's get this here. Let's get that there, right? Logistics. But Lilith and Juno, that's some sexy energy. In Scorpio, Lilith and Juno together in Scorpio. Oh, Lord have mercy. They're both in a sextile, right? So this is going to create an even easier time to act on our impulses, to act on our passions, our desires, even like sexual energy, and not want to hold back on it, but wanting to like honor it with integrity, right? Because we are speaking to Virgo. But your passions and desires can be for creation, it can be for relationship, it could be for health, it could be for anything you want it to be, right? But I'm just saying, because Juno is about marriage and partnership. Juno is also about protection of women and what I would say are like bonded contracts. And I say that because while it represents marriage, that's what marriage is. It's a bonded contract. So it's like this can be about business and what have you, like agreements. It doesn't have to be about marriage, unless that's on your plate, unless it's on your table, right? But Lilith likes to do whatever the fuck she wants to do, right? Lilith is kind of our more primal, darker impulses, and she doesn't want to hold back, especially in Scorpio, not to mention the intuitive factor there. So there's also an intuitive taking action and putting things together, which is really nice. So needless to say, that being there all this week and with the full moon, that creates a really nice energy to help us like get things in order, get things going the way we want, and do what we want to do, right? But also with integrity and with likelihood for success if that applies to your situation. I will say too, though, Mercury being in Leo is squaring Lilith and Juno. I'm not that worried about it because Mercury being in Leo and Mars being in Virgo, they're bridging each other. So it kind of eases the squares there with Lilith and Juno. But I will say that can create some tension. And I was kind of getting what we've been getting all last week is like lean into the discomfort. that Mercury and Leo's making here. It's almost like I was getting this feeling of like, ooh, I want. And then Mars is like, yeah, let's do what we want. And then Mercury's like, but almost like Mercury has like a halt on it. That just feels like discomfort to me. So just lean into that. Like break your own boundaries, break your own limitations. Also, Uranus Gemini, right? To lean into that a little bit better. And then some final notes here about the astrology of the week that are just beautiful. Jupiter in Cancer is trine Vesta in Scorpio. So much Scorpio energy this week. I'm loving it. That is just, yeah, that's just lovely. Vesta is the sacred flame. It's the soul's calling. Whatever that calling is, doesn't have to be grand. It could be having your morning coffee every day, whatever, right? Doesn't have to be anything crazy. Crow just flew by. But Jupiter in Cancer, trine Vesta in Scorpio, this also has the feeling of like ease, more unfoldment, more open doors, more leeway, more clear space to do what we want to fucking do. It's just, oh, sorry, Clyde, that passionate. It's just a matter of believing it. It's a matter of believing it. And also the fact that Jupiter is in Cancer, this is driven from the soul. This is driven from the heart. And if you're not operating in that heart space, if you're not operating from the true essence of who you are and what your soul wants, this can be a harder energy to tap into that may make you kind of emotional, right? Oh, I didn't really talk about that. So just briefly, if you've been feeling kind of emotional today or up and down, it is just the nature of the day. Uranus and Gemini can also create a lot of restlessness. I did also notice that the moon is in Sag today, which is opposing Uranus and Venus and Sedna. So that being said, emotional mood swings, upheavals today, likely not that improbable. Okay. Even today, like I had an amazing morning. I can't even lie. I was like, I would have a word for it other than like sacred giggles. I don't know. I wish I could tell you guys about that whole experience. I really cannot get into the details of it. But I had such a beautiful morning. And then I like was ready to get into my stuff. And then I got like blasted with this restlessness. And I was like I was so restless. I was like, why do I feel crazy right now? I am like I'm ready to like pull my hair out. What's going on? I had to like go outside and ground. And I was like, oh yeah, duh, this has to be Uranus Gemini. Some of you may have experienced a bit of a blast today of of crown energy. I don't know y'all time zones. I think for me that came in around like somewhere between 11 and 12 Pacific time is when that hit me. And I actually like took a minute. I'm like, Spirit, what the hell is this? What is this? And they said it's open. And I was like, oh, the gateway, the 7-7 gateway is open is how they relate it to me, but everyone could be experiencing that differently. Anyway, yeah, so Jupiter and Cancer trine Vesta in Scorpio, even more ease, even more unfoldment, even more support to just follow your soul, follow your heart, do what feels right in your spirit to do. Even if that means doing something you've never done before, doing things on your own terms, in your own way. There's so much emphasis with this, with all of the Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, all of this Gemini energy now that Uranus is there too. So just do it. It's time for everything to be different anyway. You might as well just try. Even if you've never seen anyone do whatever it is you want to do, just do it. Just do it. Just say F it and just do it. Anyway, moving on. The last thing I want to mention, Sun being in Cancer is trine the North Node in Pisces all week, which is also why it is also working with the full moon as well so closely. There is some Juno activity tied to that, which is also very positive. We also have a little bit of Orcus energy too. Orcus is kind of floating around this week. Orcus is going to be aspecting the full moon and is also working with Mars by the end of the week. So along with all this like beautiful unfolding and support that we're getting cosmically, not to mention fate and like destiny and all this stuff, there is also karmic balancing to be had with this as well. If you're brave enough to make some of these hard choices, or if you're brave enough to just leap, dare I say. Okay. But yeah, that trine with the North Node and the Sun in Cancer, that's just more soul alignment of where we're going and where we're being led to go internally even, which again is just beautiful. And really quickly, I will say at the very end, when it comes to relationships, yes, there's so much happening with relationships right now, whether it's friends or coworkers or love interests. And I mean like next level experiences, but it's meant to either wake you up, shake you up, transform you because of Pluto, or break certain cycles, or even help like lead you to your future, right? So just honor what's going on in your relationships at this time, including those that are not aligned, that are screaming at you to let them go. Okay. Okay. I think that's everything I want to say today. I know every time, I feel like every time I've like come live with the last couple weeks, there's just been so much. Let's see. Let me come back a little bit. And also, like, I feel like I should always say this disclaimer every time. We're all in a different spot. And if you don't want to do anything with these energies, you don't have to, obviously, free will. I'm just highlighting the potency of potential that we have at this time. For those who are in that space where they're like ready to use it. They actually don't want me to talk about liminal spaces really quickly. Got a lot of timestamps today. I know. He's being a little extra today. So why am I talking about liminal spaces? When we're making big choices, it kind of automatically puts us in a liminal space. Even when we're in a day like today, a portal day is also a liminal space. And what I mean by that is it's this elusive in between, right? Where we're not really cemented in something quite yet. And we are kind of still in something that we are like stepping out of. Until we're fully anchored in, right? So when we are in these liminal spaces, things are very malleable. Things are always malleable, but like they're extra malleable, right? The veil's a little extra thin. And in these liminal spaces, you can treat them like void spaces. Sometimes we also go through this in life, or we go through phases where things are really unclear, things are really uncertain, things are really unknown, and we don't know what to do. When Saturn was in Pisces, that was a big lesson for the collective, is how do you deal with liminal space? How do you deal with being in the unknown? How do you deal with being in the boat on the water in the dark and not knowing where the fuck you're going, right? I feel like I'm cussing a lot today. Interesting vibes. Anyway, when we're in these spaces, they are spaces of potential, which is beautiful. But in these spaces of potential, there's also things that maybe we don't want, thank you, that would even be to our detriment to entertain, right? When we're in these liminal spaces, we almost need to be more discerning, more accountable, because there is so much we can't totally see. And there are things that are almost have too much potential that aren't anchored in yet, right? That aren't like fully tangible and secured, rooted yet. Think of it like being in the dark. What all lurks in the dark? Everything lurks in the dark, including the really beautiful things. Dark is just void, right? It's not bad. But there are things in the dark, in the void, that we don't want to deal with. And nor should we, because again, there are things that lurk that could be detrimental. This also comes back, circling back to some of these energies that are dissipating out, when I was speaking about the higher heart frequencies and everything like that. So again, if you're finding yourself in a liminal space, that is when it is to your benefit to be the most diligent about being as centered in who you are as possible. To be fully aware of the things that are lurking versus the things that have beautiful potential that you want for yourself, right? Especially if your liminal space is actually more about like a shedding or a healing. I think this is also where people get confused about the trap of healing. I'm sorry. I know I'm rolling my eyes a lot today. I know I'm a little sassy today. I'm just I am just really over just some of the things I see in the spiritual community. That's all. That's all it is. I'm just really over it. I feel like a lot of times people just want something to say, so they just say something. And it's like, I don't know. I think you know what I'm saying. I feel like I'm not being very articulate about it, but I think y'all know what I'm saying. Anyway, Cat hair. Let me come back. I know my team's like, don't get sidetracked. I know. So being in these liminal spaces and being as anchored into yourself as humanly possible will always help you get through. And I know it's not easy. Trust me. I know it's not easy. I know like the monkey mind wants to play tricks on us so bad when we're in those spaces and wants to like have us be scared and all of that. But the more connected you are to yourself in those moments of your life, oh, I know, buddy. In those moments of your life, it's where you're going to have the most truth. It's where you're going to find the most truth. And the most empowerment, actually, I would say. But the healing trap. It's only a trap if you indulge in circling through it over and over and over again. Chewing on the gum that you need to spit out of your mouth, essentially. That's the only way it becomes a trap. Just because something emerges back in your awareness again doesn't mean it's a trap. It doesn't mean that you haven't done your work. It doesn't mean that, oh no, I need to dive deeper into this again and again and again. It doesn't always mean that. Yes, healing comes in layers because everything is cyclical. But if it's just emerging in our awareness, we can just observe it, right? Again, especially if you've already done the work and you've already like dove into it. It's just moving. That's all it's doing. It's just moving. It's just shifting. Again, like I mentioned before, as it's like shifting out of your space. Because when we go through these moments of elevation, we go through these moments of moving into these like higher frequencies or states of being, even just states of mind, right? It cleans the clutter for us. It does. And then that's when these things kick up again. And you're like, damn it, I thought I dealt with that. You did. So just let it, just let it mosey. Let it mosey on out. Okay. Anyway, that being said, I do want to pull some cards for the collective. He's being so much right now. Okay. All right, collective. Where are we going today? Actually, I think we're just going to use these two. I don't even think I'm going to use Big Bertha. Or maybe I will. I love Big Bertha so much. Actually, yeah, let's do that. He's like stretching out more and more and more and more. Okay. Let's start with the pocket archetypes, then we'll go to Big Bertha. What was I gonna say? All the decks I use link below. So check them out if you're interested. This is the pocket archetype Oracle by Kim Krans. Anyway, hey guys. He's distracting me a lot. Any messages or insights for the collective? Any messages or insights for the collective? Let's see. Oh, that's beautiful. We have the eternal child. I love that. It's interesting too, because like I've been doing a lot of talking today about like, making sure you're really holding on to your center, right? The eternal child, I feel like actually is a little bit of a nod to that. The eternal child with that flame dead in the center, right? It's where we are connected to our pure, joyful, playful, even innocent like essence. Beautiful energy. Oh yeah. Nectar. So like I mentioned too, we are also here to play. We're here to create. We're here to experience, right? It doesn't always have to be so serious. It can be lighthearted. I do like to emphasize the serious things for people who do need help with that and need support with that, right? But with Eternal Child being here and Nectar, I just feel like there's a really beautiful energy and encouragement here to play and to open. Blossoming is the word that's coming through with that. To play, to open, to blossom, to honor the child. That was actually part of the words, the sound activation that I put out to honor the child around the summer solstice. Some of you, this can also apply to not just the way you're playing or engaging with other people or yourself or your own reality, but this can also imply something that you're actually creating for yourself or even for other people with Nectar and Eternal Child. It just has this feeling of sweet, of I almost want to say ecstasy, which is kind of an interesting word here. And joy. Enjoy. I didn't get YouTube notifications, but Spirit whispered to me and told me you were live. I love that. I love that. Yeah, check your notification settings. You know how YouTube be. Anyway. Any other messages or insights? Any other messages or insights for the collective? Interesting. Don't know if I love that card being here. We have the stone. The stone speaks of very, very slow change or permanence. It's like I'm getting that rigid feeling of like stuck things finally moving, finally shifting, finally breaking apart. It's like, I speak of like, plaque, energetic plaque all the time, 444, as I said that. And that's kind of what I'm feeling here. Some of you, it's interesting, the pink is jumping out at me too, with like the higher heart energy we've been speaking about. Some of you may have been on a bit of a prolonged, transformative cycle for your sense of joy, for your sense of play. Almost like maybe it's taken a long time to slowly dissolve something that's been very like rigid or very stuck. And the word rigid keeps coming through. Thank you. Oh, something, Della just came in and it just made me cough. Remember, we were also speaking to the breaking of parameters and boundaries and rules, right? Things that have kind of kept us from like doing things the way we want to do them, doing things on our terms, doing things in accordance with our truth. I'm also getting that too, right? This is actually honoring the truth of the child by allowing some very long-standing, old, plaquey, sticky, almost brick-like energy, rock-like energy to finally break, right? To allow for the child to be honored more. Yeah. Yeah. Some of you may be feeling a lot more playful. Again, bold is also another word that's coming through again, that came through earlier. But yeah, that's what I'm getting here. Some of you may have been experiencing this for a while, but I feel like in more collective sense, it is part of this Uranus Gemini energy, because Gemini is also the child, right? Gemini loves play. Gemini is very curious. Gemini wants to experiment. Gemini wants to create and like get in the mix and make things messy. Like that's what Gemini likes to do. And this is allowing ourselves to have leeway with that, but it is about addressing the things that have been too rigid for too long, keeping us too contained for too long, right? Can I get another card, please, for the collective? Go with your instincts. That wolf energy is coming through. The wolf's been a part of the collective energy for a long time. I mean, everything's collective technically, right? But from the people I've been reading for, the wolf has been coming up a lot, as has the owl, but the wolf is present right now. Some of you may have been confronting some of that south nodal energy. Again, that's just the plaque that's trying to move. Loosen up, but follow your instincts. This is just for a portion of you. Some of you, I'm like trying to get more information here. Hold on a second. This might, I don't know if I'm doing signs today or not. Just letting you know, I'm very much just fooling with the moment today. But I'm going to use some dice here for this particular message. Let's get, wait, do I have more dice? Do I have more? Oh my God. Second bag was right in front of my face. Didn't even see it. Do I have 2? Oh no, I thought I had 3. Okay. I'm going to roll 3 zodiac die because this message I'm picking up on, oh, it's so super specific. Oh Lord, another timestamp. This wolf message. Follow your instincts. Can I get 3 signs for him maybe relating to this wolf message? And then we'll dive into the wolf message here. Getting a lot of yellow actually. A lot of solar plexus energy. Yeah, like follow your gut instinct on something. What we have, oh my God. Oh no, it's Scorpio. I thought that was Virgo. I thought we had Cancer, Leo, Virgo. I'm like, oh, it's that whole quadrant of the zodiac. And no, it's not. Anyway, so we have Leo, Cancer. Sorry if it's too hard to see. Cancer. Nah. And Scorpio are the 3 signs that are coming up in relation to this message. Even if those aren't your signs, I just wanted something to kind of anchor this in a little bit better for you guys. This wolf message, follow your instincts. They're giving me the King of Swords. King of Swords and Queen of Swords. Whoever this is for, you've been too in your head about something. You need to be in your body about it. It's okay to follow your instincts. It's okay to follow your urges. That's totally that Lilith Scorpio energy working with Mars Virgo. Maybe that's also why I thought this was Virgo, not Scorpio. Yeah, I feel like that's what this is about. I feel like it's part of that like transit. Mars Virgo sextile Lilith Scorpio, Lilith and Juno Scorpio. Anyway, whoever this is for, you've been too in your head about something. You've been too logical about something. It's not logical. Thank you, Spirit. Sometimes our urges, our instincts, our gut feeling, even our passion is a compass in and of itself. It's okay to honor that. Whoever this is for, I think you've been almost like afraid of what you're feeling or what you're like, your body's been telling you to do. This doesn't have to be sexual. Some of you it could be. But I keep getting instinctual. It's like it's a primal force that's like been driving you to something, to do something, to experience something, say something, whatever. But again, I'm getting more like solar plexus energy, so it's kind of giving me like fire. Some of you who are resonating with this, you're afraid of your own fire. Consequences is what I'm hearing. You're afraid of the consequences of acting on your fire. Why? Whoever this is for, you may have a history. You may have fire in your chart, although we do have Leo, Cancer, Scorpio here. You may have a history of like, well, yeah, just not having things work out the way you want, but maybe even how people have reacted to your fire. Maybe people have been very like, what's the word I want to use here? Dismissive is a word. People may have been hurt by your fire. People may have like, I don't know, try to make you feel some kind of way about it. And you know, I mean, not for nothing, we're human. Sometimes we act on our instincts and sometimes we do hurt people unintentionally. That does happen. But it doesn't mean your fire's bad. It doesn't mean your urges are bad. Urge is an interesting word here. Doesn't mean your passions are bad either. Yeah, this group, I feel like there's just this call to like, to lean into that part of you and know it's okay. That it's okay to. In fact, it actually, I'm almost wondering if it's like more of your true compass. You know what? You know what? It's reminding me of human design, actually. Your what is it called? Oh my God, I haven't looked at human design in so long. Um, what's the name of it? Like you may be like sacral ruled or solar ruled. You know what I mean? It's like that may be like your literal compass, more so than the mind, because they keep getting logic, 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 logic. It must make sense. It must make sense. Um, but I think your compass doesn't operate that way. Only you would know. Take you know you better than I know you. I'm just a messenger. Um, there's something about that. Yeah. All right. Let's come back to the Jesus. Let's come back to the collective. I'm going to pull from the Wisdom of Oracle really quickly. Collective continued. All right. No, Big Bertha. I changed my mind. Big Bertha. Put it there. I wish you guys could see him. He's cracking me up right now. Gave him an inch, he took a mile. Anyway, collective. Any other messages or insights for the collective, please? One more. I'll put you over here too. Okay. By the way, everyone give a shout out to the moderators for doing such a great job, for helping out with our experience to keep it clean. Lord. This is an emperor-like energy. Take charge with authority. That's kind of reminding me of the wolf energy a little bit. Oh, the Lord can be very strategic. I feel like Lord also would have the life experience to honor their instincts as well. But this is almost feeling a little bit like, I feel like something about this energy is changing. Something about the way that we operate in this kind of energy collectively is changing. Right? It is like masculine energy. It's Martian energy. But there's something about that in terms of what we received here where I feel like I feel the stone energy with this is basically what I'm getting. I feel the stone energy with this, like something about the Lord energy is softening, actually. Softening to allow for more joy, for more experimenting, for more like childlike energy. Again, this is a collective reading, so it's like take it as you will, but this feels just like an internal sort of shift for us, okay? And of course, because as within, so without, right? This could also be manifesting in your relationships as well. Oh, yeah, there it is. Deep cellular healing. Arcturus. Some of you could relate to Arcturians or Arcturus. I believe Arcturus is Libra. I want to say, is it late degrees Libra? I think it's late degrees Libra. Anyway, just information. Physical and emotional healing. Yeah, there's a softening. There's a softening happening here. This may also coincide around the full moon Capricorn. Full moon Capricorn also working with this North Node in Pisces. Pisces is also very healing. Not to mention Jupiter being Cancer right now and helping us get a little softy as we need to, right? Helping us also to expand in our capacity to heal and forgive and be nurturing and ooey gooey and all that stuff, right? But yeah, there is a bit of a breaking down of rigidity around masculine energy. Even, dare I say, what comes of that, which is also patriarchal energy too. But again, this feels very internal. You could, again, be experiencing this within your relationships. Anything else? Yeah, again, letting the child out. They keep saying letting the child out, honoring the child, honoring the child, honoring the child. If any of you feel like you really like lean into your masculine a lot, or you like overdo, you overwork, or maybe you have you operate from an older paradigm of masculine energy. Our society wants us to be in that space, right? So you can it could even just manifest that way of like the way you try to live by societal norms. Um, there's a softening of the rules and parameters there so that you can just play more and enjoy more. It's really nice. This could also come about in terms of dealing with any, addressing any relationships that are authoritative, like with your bosses, with the government, with certain family members, right? Nice. Hunter. Freaking love this card. It's one of my favorites. Track down your fears and desires. The words, I'm so sorry. The title on this card is pretty on point or on the nose, so to speak, with the description in the book of this card. It basically just is a reminder of the things that we are most afraid of. Again, let's bring back to the wolf message. Excuse you. He was kicking me. Let's bring back to the wolf message. The things we are most afraid of, it's because we have that much emotional investment or attachment, right? So when it comes to like a relationship, if you're like terrified of losing somebody, right? It's like the fear is there because you care, because you care about that person, you care about that relationship. With the softening here, with the softening of the energy, for some people there is like a heart opening that's happening. That's not for all of you. A lot of you have already been through that. Again, this could also pertain to people around you. This is collective, but I'm almost getting like something being poured out of the heart, like fear comes to the surface, the real fear, the true fear, what someone's really afraid of, what we are really afraid of, comes to the surface. But like as it does, like, kind of what I was saying before, but as the real fear comes to the surface, you can see what you really give a shit about. You can see what really matters to you and what you really value. And in doing so, also what the child really values and really wants. What you value, what you want, what your heart wants, what your soul wants. So again, kind of what I was saying at the very beginning of this video, fears and these, tougher emotions or tougher thoughts, let them come to the surface, let them be seen. And let them tell you something. Let them show you a truth that you didn't even know or that you were afraid of honoring, afraid of looking at. The hunter, though, again, does also remind me of that wolf message that we got, which is timestamped if you're catching this after the fact. Something instinctual, something primal. I keep wanting to do this, like something instinctual, something primal. Somebody could have like a strong, I don't know, sense of smell. I keep wanting to do this. I don't know why. It feels very weird. Maybe you have a special nose. I don't know. There's something about the nose. In terms of that's like very interesting. But yeah, can we get a couple other cards for the collective, please? So they're bringing something up here, and we've all heard this before, right? Fear is an illusion. It's not always true. To be honest, is like, sometimes fear is something that is a bit of an alarm system of like, hey, don't tread over there. You will fall through the ice or whatever. I think we should leave room for fear, right? Fear is a really important tool in just being human. But are there times where fears can make us believe things that aren't necessarily true? Yeah, absolutely. And that's where fear can be an illusion versus a very healthy alarm system, right? And even if you feel fear of like, I don't know what keep wanting to say falling through the ice. I don't know, maybe that's like a deep fear for someone out here. Even if you have like an alarm bell moment, it's not like you relinquish your power to it, right? It's like you just recognize, oh, something ain't right here. Okay, I need to not be doing this, right? I feel the need to make a distinction there. But anyway, yeah, there are times when fears make us believe things that aren't really real, that aren't actually happening to us, right? False evidence appearing real. Just wanted to be mentioned. A couple other cards, please, for the collective. I'm hearing losing power. So again, this is collective. So I'm thinking that some of these messages may apply to people that we know, not necessarily ourselves. Because I know my collective has done a lot of work on all of these things. Losing power, losing control. These are things that are coming up with the Lord energy. But this is what's softening. Working through fears of losing control, working through fears of losing power. I'm not really a fan of that word all the time. Whatever that means to you. That's some of the fears that are leaving. Can I get a couple other cards, please? And giving yourself context is also good too. Like, this is something I used to do years ago. If I was like in a pickle or just like not sure about something, or like, you know, especially like fear was coming up, I would just ask myself, like, okay, if I do it and worst case scenario happens, will I die? No. Will I be maimed? No. Will I be humiliated? Maybe. Could I live with it? Right? So it's like just like really putting it in extreme context sometimes like helps to like really see fear for what it is, or gives it a good lens, you know? Something else that's, I keep trying to get two other cards and I keep seeing things. Something else I'm seeing, the horns. And it's interesting because the Lord, his horns are smaller. Oh, actually, and the hunter has two sets. Ooh. Thank you, Spirit. This is interesting. I'm almost seeing the hunter as like almost like someone who's more aligned to their true power and their true sovereignty. They've earned it. Oh, they said yes. This, okay. Oh, yes. Okay. There's definitely a message here for the collective. The hunter may, you know, live out in the forest while the Lord lives in a castle. But who has more sovereignty? Who has more wisdom? Who has more sense of self and empowerment? Right? Horns, right? Just speaking to nature. Animals who have horns, it's like the older they get, like the, you know, the bigger they get, right? And like the more that they have, right? It shows age, it shows wisdom, it shows capability. Hunter has two sets. The Lord, are they even? Nope. And the Lord, it's not even real. Illusion. Illusion of power and illusion of control. Look, it's just, I don't know if you guys can see, but it's just a crown. They're not even real. He took it from somewhere else. He took it from an animal and put it on his own head, versus the hunter, he grew his own. You see what I'm saying? That's so interesting. That's so interesting. So for some people in the collective, this is having a better understanding of what power actually is, what sovereignty actually is. And a lot of people have this image of power and sovereignty, but they just took it from somewhere. They just took it from someone. Ooh, they just took it from, okay, we're getting into bigger things here. Right? Because when you have true power and sovereignty, you don't need to control anything, control anyone. You don't need to play pretend. You don't need to live up to an image of sovereignty, because you just are. You don't even have to think about it. You just are. And you probably don't think about it because you just are. Right? Like a lion doesn't tell you he's a lion. Right? Like a lion doesn't go to another lion and say, hey, give me your mane so I can wear a mane and be a lion. No, a lion's just a lion. Versus a cat in a little lion costume. That is so fascinating. God, I'm just like, wow. Sorry, I feel like I'm seeing so much now. Oh, whoa. I love how spirit works. Even just the little details. Like you see he has like the little triple emblem on his cape. It might be hard to see because of the lighting. There's a triple spiral behind the hunter. Right? He doesn't have to wear it. He's embodied with it. Versus display, display, display. Even the tools that they're holding, right? Even the tools that they're holding. This like very, ooh, interesting. I mean, this is actually more a little bit symbol of like feminine with masculine, right? But he's holding a staff. He's holding like, I am powerful. See, I am powerful. Versus the hunter who holds the bow, right? Which that's their compass, is what I just heard, right? Because for a hunter to be a hunter, they need a tool. They need a way of being the hunter, of having precision. This has been coming up in the collective too, right? Of having that masculine precision and intention versus, see, I'm powerful, versus, no, I am powerful. There's actual action and energy and intention behind that. Yeah, seeing a lot. Seeing a lot. It's weird. It almost looks like the same guy too, doesn't it? Just one is shaved and got a little dreadlock going on, and right? The hunters earn their markings. The Lord is playing pretend. And I'm like even saying that. I'm not saying like anyone is fake. That's not what I'm saying. It's coming to terms with the real self, the real self, the real source of power, the real source of sovereignty, versus playing up the image of that because of how we're told to play the image of that. Right? Very interesting day today. Okay, I want 2 more cards for the collective, please. Some of you are going to be called back into nature. It's interesting the way that came out. Maybe you've already had a round of that. Maybe you're just feeling like you need to like go camping or something. Yeah, it's giving me the feeling of like leaving the castle and going to the woods. Like that's the feeling I'm getting here. They're showing me the 2 of Wands with that and saying that. Can I get... the great severing. Mars energy, anger, conflict, and softening to love. I feel like this is just putting a stamp on everything we've already spoken about. Right? The breaking of that rigidity, the breaking of that plaque, the breaking of those boundaries, the softening, right? Something else I'm getting here too. Some of you may identify as the hunter, and maybe you're needing to deal with a lord here. Could be a friend, a family member. Some of you, I'm definitely getting that. To have a very needed conversation, almost confrontation for some of you. You'll know who you are and how that applies. Can I get another card, please? Oh, interesting. I didn't expect the one to come out. You're not alone. Isolation, physical connection, and community. In embracing this level of authenticity, sovereignty, right? Truth of self. That's where we find our true people. But there's something else going on there. Can I get another card for You're Not Alone? Oh. Wow. Okay. I'm just thinking about, okay, sorry, so much. Sorry. Sorry. Uranus Gemini. Too much going on in the mind. So I'm clarifying you're not alone. We have Earth Mother. Feel loved and comforted. Again, some of you, there's a call to nature here. Or to go back, if that resonates for you. The reason I was taking a minute is because this is a combination deck, by the way, if you guys are new, with Star Seed Oracle and Angels and Ancestors. Both are linked. But in the Angels and Ancestors deck, there's a Lord and Lady, okay? And there's an Earth Mother and a Sky Father. But the Hunter, I don't think the Hunter, excuse me, need water. Um, I don't think the Hunter has a counterpart actually in this deck, which is kind of interesting. Like, there's no Huntress. There's Shield Maiden, but there's a Warrior, right? And they're counterparts to each other. But there's no Huntress, which is really interesting. Now that I'm like looking at this, because to see this with the You're Not Alone card, like literally the card about community and connection, we have Earth Mother coming out. And with Lost Lands, Soul Memories, there's a remembrance. And Gifts, you've done this before. Star Ancestors, follow the voice of your soul, follow your truth, right? Coming out with community and connecting with other people. So whether you're feeling called to nature, or you're having some sort of remembrance, or you're just honoring your truth, there is connection to be made there with other people. But I keep getting something about the involvement of this hunter-like archetype, excuse me, or like this alignment to sovereignty with this Earth Mother. The hunter protects Earth Mother. The hunter knows Earth Mother because hunter is aligned with their sovereignty and their truth. Even, right? Like the hunter in the back has the triple spiral of the feminine. Also covered in spirals of the feminine. As of course Earth Mother is too, but she is Earth Mother. I don't know if you guys can see the art. I know it's a little hard with the lighting, but she's got little like, oh no, you can't. Oh, you can kind of see it. She's got little like spirals on her shoulder. There's something about that. Something about that. Interesting. Okay. I think that's pretty clear for the collective anyway. Very interesting day. Where are we at? An hour and a half. Hold on, where's my notebook? With all my messy timestamps. I do want to pull cards today. As far as like signs go, I just got to be careful about time. And you guys know how I am. I'm like, I can't take too much time. And then I just take a lot of time. Like literally can help myself. Okay, how do I want to do this, Spirit? Spirit's like, just do what you do. Sounds right. All right, we're gonna use Midnight Magic for all of the readings today for the signs. Who are we starting with? I will say fire signs, something feels kind of like draining about your energy right now. We're going to go with air. We're going to start with Gemini, as we do. We're just going to do straight tarot today. Running out of space because I got a big old cat in my space. Okay. Gemini. Gemini. What's going on for my Geminis? Messages or insights for Gemini at this time? I'm seeing the Six of Swords. We'll see if it comes out. You could be traveling. You could just be finally laying something to rest, actually, is kind of what I'm getting to. Which is funny, considering Uranus just moved into your sign. Feels like it would be the opposite, like you're like ready to go. But maybe this is going to facilitate that. This might facilitate that. Gemini. What's going on for my Geminis? I'm getting a little water with you. You could have Cancer in your chart. It is your neighbor. Yeah, you on the move, Gemini. 8 of Wands. This is unstoppable energy, movement, communication. It's kind of like a rocket energy. Yeah, I feel like you're just progressing. Keep in mind, Mercury is about to go retrograde next week on the 17th. I think the 17th, or is it the 15th? Something like that. Anyway, so for my people who read cards or who pull your own cards, this card's gonna start coming out in reverse a lot because it is Mercury, but it's Mercury Sag, it's Mercury Fire, and because it is also about communication specifically, just be prepared for all your, well, just know, not be prepared, but just know this card's gonna come out a lot for people. Let's see. Ooh, okay. Yeah, Geminis. I like this for you. We have Queen of Cups and the Three of Cups. Okay, this looks like a good time. Yeah, Geminis, I keep getting like something's been laid to rest or you've made peace with something and it's just allowing you to like go and have fun. It's allowing you to just go and get in the mix. But Queen of Cups and the Three of Cups, you're very happy. It's not just fun. It's also making you really happy. Eight of Wands and Three of Cups can be dating. Okay, so just know that. Like you could be getting asked out on a date. You could be getting the mix with people and just going to parties and things like that. That's Three of Cups energy. Anything else for Gemini? Can I get like a couple more cards here for Gemini? Yeah, I feel like I'm looking at a Gemini who's feeling very free. Beautiful. Let me get your card, your major with the Lovers. Usually this is a card of alignment for me. It's also a card about choices that are big life choices. Sometimes also spiritually guided relationships. Why is the Lovers here for Gemini? Oh, Nine of Pentacles. You feel in yourself, that's for sure. You being in the Nine of Pentacles energy, that's confident, that's radiance. You may even be glowing, especially if you're getting a lot of attention with the Three of Cups and the Eight of Wands. One more for why the Lovers is here. Ooh. One more for why the Lovers is here for Gemini. Oh, okay. Eight of Swords. I see you making a choice. This is part of, I think this is why I was getting the Six of Swords with you. You did lay something to rest. You laid your fears to rest with the Eight of Swords. Again, Lovers is a choice, first and foremost. It means these other things, right? Especially with how much people share their opinions, right, about tarot and all their different meanings. But Lovers at the core is a choice. You either had the choice of Eight of Swords or the choice of the Nine of Pentacles. It's like choosing fear or limited thinking or being confident in yourself and being confident in what you believe and being a little bit more open. And I think you made a choice here of the Nine of Pentacles by way of the Six of Swords, by laying some of your fears to rest. Can I get one clarification on the Eight of Swords and then we'll move on? Getting dogs. Dogs been coming up in the collective too. Dogs are loyalty. Loyalty, love, devotion, family. 10 of Cups. Gemini, were you afraid of love? Is that what's going on here? Were you afraid of love and happiness? Some of you were. Some of you were. Some of you had to break away from some family stuff, whether it was like family values, beliefs, or influences, or a domestic situation, to be truly free and to truly go and have fun. Some of you, this is actually like you were grieving the possibility of a relationship or grieving a relationship so that now you can go and like mingle it up. That's for some of you. But yeah, Eight of Swords around 10 of Cups. Some of you, this could be fear of commitment, fear of family, fear of love, all the things I already mentioned. But I see you embracing good times. I see you embracing joy with other people. Really nice. Okay. Libra. What's going on for Libra? Libra. Any messages or insights for Libra? What's going on for the Venusians? Libra. Apples are coming up. Green apples, specifically. Make of that what you will. Apples are knowledge, usually. Like knowledge and fertility. I don't know. The green is really standing out. Green to me says heart, but green apples are bitter. right? They're kind of sour. Are you coming into some information that's a little hard to swallow? It's kind of giving me this. It's kind of giving me that vibe. Libra. Gold is coming up. I keep getting there's something. I keep getting swallowing. Like you're having to swallow something bitter. It feels like a truth, but gold coming in says that this is actually going to lead to something positive for you, or it's necessary. I don't know, Libra. Let's take a peek. Any messages or insights for Libra? We have Two of Wands and King of Wands. This could be you. This could be someone you're dealing with. Take it as it resonates. Libra, you are the Queen of Swords, and I feel like you're in more of a taking something in, which is to me a feminine state, receptivity versus taking action. But you could be the King of Wands, so let's just get into it. But the King of Wands, Leo energy. Two of Wands is Aries. Two of Wands is about making decisions, but I've also been I've been doing a little bit more of a deep dive on tarot recently because I'm working on a little project. Some of my patrons know. But the Two of Wands can also be, I know what choice I want to make. I just have to make space for it. I just have to get things ready to make that choice, to take that action. Like choice has been made, but it's about the action. Tell me about the Two of Wands for Libra. A lot of fire here. I am hearing Scorpio, but we have a lot of Scorpio energy right now in the collective. Tell me about Two of Wands. Page of Pentacles. This decision is a round of Page of Pentacles energy. Page of Pentacles can be student, friend, ally. I was going to say loyalty and I heard lover. Interesting. I feel like there's a lot of examining of something going on here, though. Libra, I'm starting to think this isn't you because I feel like you're coming into awareness of something. You're receiving something. And this feels very much like someone's contemplating something to do, to say, to act. And I don't think that's your energy. But again, take it as you will. It feels like someone just keeps looking at something. Like literally looking at a pentacle and like, if I look at it this way, but what if I look at it this way? But what if it this way? Like if I flip it all the different ways, actually it's very Gemini. If I flip it all the way around, do I really see this right? Do I really see this right? Yeah, oh, interesting. They're showing me a disco ball. Oh, interesting. So yeah, Libra, I don't think this is your energy. Again, take it as you will. I'm just getting the feeling, Libra, that there's somebody who's like, their mind is made up, but they're just trying to figure out the action. Almost like a plan. But they're doing it through the Page of Pentacles, which is good, right? That's like practical, logical, like, does this make sense? And this will either, it's a good way to make a decision. But they're showing me it as a disco ball of like looking at something at every freaking angle, but like to the point where it's like, what is a disco ball? It just reflects, right? It just like refracts and reflects light. It's like a mirror. So is like, I feel like someone's almost looked at something in so many ways that, not that they're confused, but like maybe there is something about you. They've been looking at it too long. They've been looking too closely at it. Anything else for Libra? Ooh. Oh. Libra, you always got someone after you. Ace of Cups and the Hierophant. This is what they're considering. It's like, they keep showing me disco ball, which I think is really funny. Whatever this is, they're examining on the how. They know what they want, but now it's a matter of how, right? It is in terms of like commitments and contracts, but also with the Hierophant, that can be ethics, right? Like ethics and values and morals and belief systems and things of that nature. But Ace of Cups at the bottom, their heart is in it. They know what they want and they are emotionally invested in what they want. They just are trying really hard to figure out the how. Tell me more about this Hierophant energy. Oh, Libra, you got to say in the comments who. Yeah, Ace of Cups still on the bottom. You got to say in the comments who this is. Nine of Cups and the Devil. What I'm getting is really interesting. I think this person may have like strong Virgo in their chart, or just a very strong like moral code. Because with Page of Pentacles and the Hierophant, it is this feeling of like, this needs to be done right. This needs to be done right. This needs to be done right. But the Nine of Cups and the Devil, it's almost like they want this so badly that they almost are perceiving it like not sinful, but kind of. Maybe that's the wrong word. Maybe some people are religious or super religious here with that word. But it is kind of that vibe. Like Nine of Cups and the Devil is like a very indulgent, I must have this now kind of energy. But I think it's only that intense because someone's looking at it so closely and like it must be ethical or it must be the right way. Oh man. Nine of Cups and the Devil. My Scorpio has to. Tell me about the Nine of Cups and the Devil for Libra. My inner Scorpio sees like indulgent energy like that and it's like, oh, we gotta go deeper. Let's dive into that. Tell me about Nine of Cups and the Devil. Libra, who is this person? The World is poking through. The Knight of Swords is also poking through. Ace of Cups is still in the bottom. We now have the High Priestess. So not only is this person, this is crazy. So first of all, we have the Hierophant and the High Priestess. That is the High Priest and High Priestess. There could be a component of spirituality here and intuition. But the Nine of Cups, the Devil, and the High Priestess, this gives me the vibe of like keeping this a secret. Like really keeping this like hush-hush of how intense they're feeling this. One more for the Nine of Cups and the Devil. Do you even know? Yeah, Two of Pentacles. How do I do this? How do I do this? How do I do this? Can I get a card for Libra? I don't think this is your energy. Like, where is Libra at in this? Where is Libra at in this? Something tells me you're like hermiting or you're bubbled. But the apple though, the apple. Well, what was with that though? Libra, I'm like, you're not even in this reading. Seven of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. This is making a plan to take action. This is that same person's energy. Where are you? Okay, one more on the Page of Wands and then we got to move on. There's something about swallowing. I can't get away from it though. There's something about like swallowing bitter information. Actually, Libra, that might be a message for this person. Right? The swallowing, the having to take in something like sour. It just feels like it feels like knowledge or beliefs or values, like the Hierophant. I'm just using that representation of the apple, the symbol of the apple, that doesn't have sweetness, right? It's like, it's almost, well, too rigid, right? It's almost too rigid. I'm thinking that it's for this person. All right, tell me about the Page of Wands. I'm going to move into Aquarius. Tell me about the Page of Wands here. Tell me about the Page of Wands. Ten of Cups. Yeah, Libra, whoever this person is, wow. I'm like, they got it bad. Okay, they got it bad, and they know what they want, and they want to head towards Ten of Cups. They want to act on their happiness. They want to act on what makes them happy, who makes them happy. I think this is someone who's got it bad for you. So take that as you will, but they're kind of spinning a little bit, I want to say, on their own ethics. Let's go ahead into Aquarius. Okay. Aquarius. Aquarius. Any messages or insights for Aquarius? Aquarius. What's going on for my Aquas? There's a playful energy in your field. That feels really nice. That feels good. We like a little play. Oh. Is it too much play? We have Temperance. Why do I feel like you're not liking this? Aqua, I keep getting this playful energy. They actually showed me, like, you know, the aqua, you know, Aquarius is the water bearer, right? Like, right, the vase of water. I saw a woman carrying a vase of water and like, whoa, like playing with it. Like, it was very cute. Which is kind of not this energy, right? Temperance is tempering, patience, taking time, balance, harmony, all that stuff. Yeah, I don't think you're receptive to temperance right now. I don't think you want to be. You could be feeling extra bold with these energies right now. What else is going on for Aquarius? You could be very well, Aquas I find to be very, like, you know, you guys are very unique. You guys are very, like, quirky sometimes. You guys can be kind of like, you know, you have a really interesting sense of humor. There's something about that side of you that's fun. It's fun. I don't know. It's being highlighted right now. We have Two of Swords. Why is the Two of Swords here for Temperance for Aquarius? Four of Swords. These cards together is typically about someone taking a time out to rest, to heal, to find their balance. Aquas, if you've been like really overworked or like you haven't had a lot of play, you may be needing a timeout, and then that like joyful, playful energy I was getting could be surging up for you. Right? Like what energy are you feeding in your life? What are you like entertaining too much of that like isn't that joy, right? Again, Temperance is about balance. There should be room for joy. There should be room for play. Tell me more for Aqua. Ooh. Aquas. Five of Cups and 10 of Wands. Okay, Aqua, take this as you will. I feel like I'm looking at an Aqua who is in a serious, like, taking a break, taking a rest, even bubbling and hermiting and actually healing. Actually healing and recovering. And this may allow you to move into that playful energy that I saw you in, okay? Some of you may be in a very playful like state right now while someone you know is really struggling. You know, actually, I think if our memory serves, the last reading I did for you, it was like a distress thing was going on. Like someone you knew was in distress or something like that. It was really like, it stuck out to me because I think you were the last one I did that day, but it felt a little bit like a, hey, if you feel something, say something. But either way, whoever's in this energy, whether it's someone you know or this is you before you move into this like joyful childlike energy, yeah, this is like needing to rest and needing to rest the mind, I would say, with the Two of Swords. There's some sort of like clarity that you're wrestling with here. Five of Cups and the 10 of Wands. This is feeling burdened by your emotions, which is not normally Aquarius, but it does happen. It does happen. What's this Five of Cups about? Some of you guys could be regretting something. Why is this Five of Cups here? I'm hearing the Five of Cups has been brewing. It's been brewing. It's been building. Again, if this is you, you will move into joy after you move through this. I saw it. Yeah, Justice. It's like I'm starting to get emotional. Tell me more about the Five of Cups here for Aquarius with Justice. Nine of Cups. Oh. And we have Nine of Swords on the bottom. So Aqua, Whether this is you and you're finding your way to joy, or this is someone you know and they're in distress, it's this yearning. It's like it's starting to make my heart hurt. I like almost want to cry. This is what they're sad. This is the sadness. The sadness is about Nine of Cups and justice not being experienced. I keep getting it as a longing or a yearning. And the Ten of Wands, the weight of it is intense. It's a lot of weight to that emotion. And on the bottom with the Nine of Swords, that's fear, that's late nights, that's not being able to sleep. Four of Swords and Nine of Swords together implies there's a lot going on at night that's difficult. But Temperance on the Two of Swords, there is like, I can see it. There is a potential here to move through this. Tell me about the Two of Swords. What's the clarity that's trying to happen here? Tell me about the Two of Swords for Aquarius. How to move forward. How to change things. How to change your situation. Makes sense, right? This is like not a great situation. This is not a great feeling to be in. Tell me more about this Five of Cups for Aquarius. Yeah, like my energy's like totally shifted in your reading. Tell me about the Five of Cups. Tell me more about the Five of Cups with Justice and the Nine of Cups. Eight of Cups. So Aqua, if this is your energy and you're trying to find your way to joy and the clarity of mind of how to do that, of how to, I think you know like what would make you happy with Justice and the Nine of Cups, because again, this is feeling like I have a wish or a hope, I have a dream, and that would make me very happy. That would even give me some kind of karmic balancing, or even feel like you deserve it. Some of you may even feel like there's some sort of like wish fulfillment that you're supposed to be having right now that you feel like you can't. But with the Eight of Cups, it says almost like to make room for it, actually. One more for the Eight of Cups. There's also an Ace of Cups energy here between the 9 and the 8. Tell me about the Eight of Cups. Tell me about the Eight of Cups. Tell me about the Eight of Cups. Ooh. Death. Aqua. Again, if this is your energy and you're finding a way to joy, or this is someone you know, Eight of Cups and death. Like, the energy that this person is moving through, it feels, I'm surprised the Lovers isn't out here, because I feel like there's a big decision that's being faced here that also is coinciding with a massive shedding with the Eight of Cups and death. Death is endings and beginnings, but it's change, it's transformation that's tied to emotional detachment and letting go of things. Temperance with healing, and they're in the Five of Cups. I keep getting yearning. I think the only way for this energy to move through this is to shed, is to let go. I'm going to get one more for the Eight of Cups and death, and then we'll move on. One more for the Eight of Cups and death. Wow. King of Cups. Yeah, this energy just has to, yeah, they got to shed some things. I want to say this is going to be a heart healing, but also feels like a major like transformation of self. Oh, and then we have the Empress, Five of Pentacles. Oh, Aqua. Hermit with the Emperor. The Emperor is in this Hermit energy. So this is about a connection. It could be about a connection, it could also be about financial issues, but like, struggling with financial issues and needing to like go within and hermit to like figure out like where did I go wrong in my life with my finances? I need to figure out like what I need to shift here, and that could lead to a bigger shift of self and identity and emotions and all that stuff. Definitely could be the case there, like a lack of abundance and prosperity with the Empress and Five of Pentacles. But for those where this is about a connection, which Aqua, you've had love readings for a while. This Emperor is in hermit mode in this Four of Swords going through this with the Five of Pentacles and the Empress. They miss an Empress. I want to say they're literally yearning for an Empress. Oh, I wish you luck, Aqua. Sorry, we have to move on. Time, I know. All right. Oh, that really put me in my feels. Like, what am I doing? Oh yeah, fire, earth, or water. Oh, Aqua, that made me so sad. Who's going next? I'm gonna like burn a little Palo Santo, actually. That like put such a weight in my heart. Aquas, if that's what you're going through, I am so sorry. But if that is what you're going through, just know that your heart never lies. Your heart never lies. Even if it's shedding things, letting go of things. And again, some of you, there's like a sense of identity in there. I'm going to light a little Palo Santo for you. Okay. The heart never lies. So just drop deeper into it. You'll be happy you did at some point. Okay. You did have the Wheel of Fortune with the Two of Swords. You had the Four of Pentacles though too, which also again tells me you want to change the situation. You will. The Wheel of Fortune is also a timing thing, but the Four of Pentacles tells me that you may be holding that up if you're resisting your heart. Anyway, let's come back. Fire, earth, or water? Fire, we're gonna go with you next. We're gonna go with Aries. Okay. Aries. Aries. What's going on for Aries? What's going on for the Rams? Messages or insights for Aries at this time? Aries, why do I feel like you're displaying your power? That is so Aries. I'm literally seeing just like the Ace of Wands, but like you're like you've stuck it in the ground. Like, mine. See me. I'm taking this action. It's very Aries. What's going on for Aries? Am I taking these? Yeah. Okay. That's a lot. Your first card's the Devil. Capricorn. We do have the full moon Capricorn this week. Three of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups. So Aries, who does this remind me of? Was it Libra? Kind of reminds me of Libra, which is your natural, complement, as I also like to say. But Devil, Three of Pentacles, and Ace of Cups. I don't feel this is toxic. The Devil's not always about toxicity. It is Saturn, Capricorn energy. It's also about like sheer will and determination. And being very focused and ambitious about something. I feel like you are very, very focused and ambitious on about a Three of Pentacles energy. Ace of Cups, your heart is in it. You're emotionally invested. You're serious about it with the Devil. It could be working with a Capricorn as well. Three of Pentacles is also Capricorn energy. Could have Cap in your chart. But Three of Pentacles is plans. It's friends. It's making shit happen. It's getting things together, which is what you love to do, right? Let's take a deeper look into this. Tell me about the Three of Pentacles. Let's see what you're up to, Aries. What's this Three of Pentacles about? Oh, are they secret plans? I don't think you're being very secret about it. I'm like, I feel like you're claiming it, honestly. But High Priestess, um, mm, thank you. That's why that's here. So Three of Pentacles with the High Priestess. These are like ideas and plans you've had in your mind for a while, but it's all about when you're taking the action. You will claim whatever this is. You will make this very known. You will make this happen. But I want to say you have been kind of percolating it in the background until the time is right. I keep getting plans, is what I keep getting. It could even be desire for like a certain friendship or a certain collaboration, right? To work with certain people or even just to get together with some friends. Could even just be that simple. But it feels like, yeah, just like it needed to be hidden for a little bit first. Tell me about the Devil. Tell me about the Devil. I'm really feeling ambition there. Ooh. Six of Cups. Ooh, let's get one more on that. One more on the Six of Cups and the Devil. When you have Six of Cups and Devil together, Six of Cups is normally my patterns card anyway, but with Devil, I feel like it kind of amplifies the pattern part of Six of Cups. Something to just be wary about. I'm not saying it's bad. I just see it. One more for Devil and Six of Cups for Aries. Ooh, Wheel of Fortune. Trying to change your luck, Aries? Towers poking out. Yeah, so Aries, this is a really interesting combination. I don't think I've ever seen these three together, actually. Having this in your spread, the Wheel of Fortune, Six of Cups with the Devil, it is giving me like a change of luck. It's giving me a change of approach, a change of patterns even, when it comes to the way you approach people, the way you make your plans, execute your plans, the way you collab with people, the way you make things happen. I'm getting like the way you have done it is changing. Maybe you never used to be so like hush hush about it before and you were just like impulsive. That's usually a path of Aries, right? Growing a maturity of that. Buddy. Sorry guys, hold on a second. I will just spin you around. I know, but I need the space. Let's look at the Ace of Cups. Let's see your emotion in this. Tell me about the Ace of Cups. Ooh, Page of Wands. Yeah, whatever this is, you're really excited about it. You're really excited about it. It's got your inner child all like, yeah, I'm going to do this shit. Yeah, I'm going to go talk to that person. Even if it's not obvious on the surface, that's how you are inside. So I have the Ace of Cups and the Page of Wands. Tell me about the Ace of Cups and the Page of Wands. You taking this? Yeah. Yeah, you're keeping close to your chest. Four of Pentacles. All right, well, can I get a card for, as the energy stands now, how this will likely end for Aries or turn out for Aries? What will be the likely outcome for Aries as the energy stands now? Ooh, look at you, Knight of Wands. Not surprised. You already know what you want to do. Can you clarify the Knight of Wands, please? Oh, wow. Okay. Come here. Come here. Knight of Wands and Queen of Wands. Okay, so you're starting with the Page and very quickly going from the Knight to the Queen. So Aries, whether this is like your own plans or you're like wanting to have a conversation with somebody or you're wanting to like get involved with someone, friendship, work, or otherwise, Three of Pentacles is the foundational core. It's like, it's before you build anything else. Let's discuss this. Let's like work out the paperwork. Let's get the bones right. 515 on my computer as I said that. It's going to grow very quickly. And I want to say you're actually going to expand very quickly. If this is about like work or finances, I see it really working in your favor. If this is like a friendship or just about a specific connection that you want to deepen or invest in, I see it empowering you. I see it elevating you. And I think you know that. I think that's why you're like, I need to be hush hush about this, but I need to go about this the right way. Yeah, it looks good. Looks really good. All right. An Ace of Wands on the bottom. There's that wand I saw. Okay. Leo. Lions. I feel like you guys are so eager for your birthday season. I could just like feel it. I could feel it. Leo. Maybe some of you guys are thinking like this is your year. I'm getting that a little bit. Some of you guys are setting your... Oh, okay. Are fire signs just really ambitious? I was feeling like a little drained earlier when I tuned into you guys. Now y'all lit up. Yeah, Leo, I feel like some guys are setting your sights higher than you normally do. Oh, good Lord. Sorry, the deck just like vomited everywhere. Hold on. All right. Leo. Any messages or insights for Leo? Leo. What's going on for the lions and lionesses? Leo. Yeah, I feel like some of you guys are thinking big, like really big, which I think is of the world. It's funny because what I saw was you holding the earth in your hands, like kind of like how the Two of Wands card is, where he's like holding the globe in his hands. And I didn't say it out loud because I'm like, that sounds like a grandiose visual. I didn't want people to like take it the wrong way. But like when I saw that, I was like, oh yeah, you're like you're really setting your sights higher. You're looking at like limitlessness here of what's possible. And then the world actually came out. 414 people in here, as I said that. The world is Saturn, but it's also fixed energy, which you are also fixed energy. Some of you could be thinking about big plans that are more like international based, traveling, having to do with social media. Some of you, I'm getting like a work vibe kind of thing here, or like international investments for some of you. Fire signs, y'all are like focused on your money, I think. But the world card can also speak of like closing chapters and opening chapters, right? So let's see what else is coming out here for my lions. Lions, I feel like some people are really shocked, maybe, at some of the moves you're making, or how you've shifted, how you've changed. You definitely got some haters in there. It's life, right? It's just life. Yeah, Lions, I can't shake it. I feel like you guys are getting really serious about something. And I just think some people in your life are taken aback. I want to say people who underestimated you. Yeah, you got your sights on your Nine of Pentacles, Page of Swords, and the did I say Nine of Pentacles? Excuse me, Nine of Cups. That's what you have your eyes on. It's giving me that hunter energy, even though it's the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords doesn't always have to be spying. It can be, but it's also research. It's research, it's learning, it's getting all the information, collecting it, and so you can figure out what to do with it, figure out the truth of it, figure out logistics. Like, that's the Page of Swords. And you're doing this in the context of what you want, what's going to make you happy. That's where your focus is at, on you. Anything else for Leo? Temperance, but you understand the importance of timing. Some of you have learned the lesson of burning yourself out. You're not doing that anymore. I can see that. I can see that with the Temperance card here. All in good timing. And everyone has their own timing. I know we've spoken about this a lot on this channel, but if you're new and you struggle with that, like comparing yourself to other people, or like, oh, I should be here, or I should be there, or I'm too old for this or too old for that. Everyone has their own timing. So just honor what your timing is. It'll create a lot more peace in your life. Trust me. Anything else for Leos? Anything else for Leos? Yeah, look at you, Leo. Ace of Wands. Very nice. So you have this like new sense of drive and motivation for pursuing your happiness. That's great. I love it. Let's see. Oh, very interesting. 10 of Swords and 7 of Pentacles. Leo. Ooh, Leo. Maybe this is also why some people are shocked. I think you threw plans out the window. It's giving me this vibe like you threw the rule book out, or you threw out like some investments that you had that I want to say were holding you back. Seven of Pentacles is evaluating. It's making plans. It's looking at what you have and seeing what you can do with it. But the Ten of Swords, it's like you took stock of like what you have at your disposal. And I feel like you were like, I don't want this, or I don't think this is going to work. You know what? This is taking up too much space in my life. I'm just going to be done with it. It's like, this might be what's shocking people. Wow. Some of you, this is like stuff that you've had in your life for a while. Like, again, maybe certain investments or certain relationships. But Seven of Pentacles speaks to resources, even assets, even things that like support us, but we have to take care of, right? Like maybe you have 2 cars. And you're like, why do I need 2 cars? I don't need 2 cars. But what, you know, whatever. Some of you have a lot of like, I'll be honest, some of you may have some very materialistic people around you or judgmental people around you. Because I feel like you are simplifying your life to make room for the bigger dream. Yep, that's exactly what you're doing. You're simplifying your life to make room for the bigger dream. And I think people around you just don't get it. They don't need to get it. They don't got vision like you, Leo, right? Yeah, I don't know. I keep getting this weird, yeah, Leo, I keep getting this weird vibe of like, I don't know, just people around you like surface. Maybe you're realizing you have a lot of surface people around you. And you don't want surface anymore. Anything else for Leo? Yeah, 7 of Wands. This is you standing up for yourself, doing what you got to do. Chariot on the way. Yeah, look at, oh my God. Yes, look at that. Chariot, King of Wands, and Justice. You in your court card with the King of Wands, heading towards justice, making shit happen for yourself, and very confidently. Yeah, Leo, we're just getting the same message over and over. So kudos to you. That looks amazing. I know it'll work out for you. All right. Sag. What's going on for Saggy? What's going on for the Archers or the Hunters even? Just playing off the collective read if you're using the timestamps for signs only. The collective read was really good today. I'm just saying. If you're only using the timestamps for signs, you might want to take a peek at that. Sagittarius. Your energy was actually pretty prominent, I would say, in the collective read. Keep hearing stuff. Sagittarius. What's going on for Sag? What's going on for Sagittarius? Oh, this feels murky. Sag, you may have pulled your energy back, or you're about to. I'm getting muddied waters. Something's become interesting. A wasp just showed up, and Clyde is like, he wants to go hunting. You don't want to hunt a wasp, buddy. Trust me, you don't. Interesting. Yeah, Sag, that's just what I keep getting. Almost like, let me pull back. Let me pull back. Something's become muddied. Some of this hasn't happened yet. Maybe maybe this will happen right around the full moon, or maybe the full moon's going to bring something up. And oh, interesting. Sag, so for some of you, the full moon might bring something to the surface, all this like black and stuff we've been talking about, and you may feel like your waters are getting muddied, and you may like withdraw your energy to get clear on it again. That's for some of you, but I keep seeing like literally brown water. The sun, illumination, you're clearing muddied waters, but I want to say it's coming with a bit of a hermit time. So some of you, this has already happened. Some of you, it hasn't happened yet. Take it as you will. But when the muddy waters happen, or if they've happened, You're withdrawing your energy to get clear. I keep seeing trees too. Trees could be significant for you. Ooh. To get clear on what you want. I like it. I like it, Sag. Again, this feels like it's coming after the waters have already become muddied. Hold on, there's something about these muddy waters. I keep getting like the way the way the waters have become muddied is actually really necessary. Like it's allowing you to see something in a different way, right? Kind of like Hanged Man energy, right? It's like when something gets stagnant or stuck or muddied or just like flips upside down and you're like, wait, what the hell happened? I thought I was really clear on this. I thought I saw this clearly. I thought I knew what this was. And then you got to like go within and like you have to actually look at it differently. Yeah, so Sag, I think that's part of it for some of you, like a shift of perspective. But it only came about because something became muddied. Anyway, it's allowed you to get very clear on what you're really passionate about. Love your hair. Oh, thank you, Ty. Yeah. Ooh, Sag, you know what? Thank you, Spirit. Yeah. Whatever way the waters have become muddied for you, I think before they got muddied, you couldn't actually see this Ace of Wands. It's almost like you couldn't connect to it. Not that you're not connected to your fire. You're very fiery. We love you, Sag. But this feels like oh, I do like that. Like that's what that feels like. Ooh, I do like that. Ooh, that does make me feel things. It's exciting. And if the waters didn't get muddied, you wouldn't have seen that. You wouldn't have had this illumination. Very interesting. Any other messages or insights for Sag? Actually, tell me about the Ace of Wands. What are you excited about? What are you so excited about? Am I taking these? No. A change. Whoa. You're excited about death. I love it. We also have Empress and Two of Pentacles peeking out here. You're excited for some change. Could even be a Scorpio, right? Death could represent a person. You're also Sag, your neighbors, right? Tell me about death. Tell me about death attached to the Ace of Wands. This is such an interesting combination. Yeah, sorry, they keep bringing me back. You're excited for change. You're almost excited for something to like break away or fall apart or not be part of your reality anymore. Okay. Tell me about death. Almost called you Scorpio for Sag. Tell me about death for Sag. Tell me about death for Sagittarius. Yeah, it's like brought you back to life. Four of Cups and the Emperor. Yeah, death with Four of Cups. It's like it's brought you out of the humdrums. It's brought you out of this like mundane energy, apathy for some of you, boredom for some of you. It almost gives me the feeling, Sag, like something about your life has just become like, oh, that's just life. That's just part of life. Saggies need consistent adventure. Consistent new experiences. I feel like there's just been something lacking there, but you've just kind of like, it's a little bit of a complacency of like, all right, I guess I'll just mosey about and just accept this. But no, I want to come back to the muddied waters because they're not really showing us that. But it's like you've been resurrected. Tell me about the sun. Tell me about the sun and the muddied waters for Sag. It almost has this feeling too, like something's been like dormant in you, dormant or just like fell, what's the word? Into atrophy. And it's suddenly alive again. Tell me about the sun and the muddied waters. Almost like a forgotten piece of yourself. Oh, that's interesting. Eight of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. You're coming out as the Emperor here. You could still be the Queen of Cups as well. There's a few things that I'm getting with this. Some of you, this is someone you work with. Some of you, this is someone that you have invested a lot of time into. Some of you, this is just how you feel, like the emotions you poured into work, even. Some of you, it's the amount of time you've spent crafting a skill. If that's the case, I want to say it's a skill that's rooted in Cancerian energy, right? So like healing, nurturing, taking care of people or someone. But that's part of the sun energy. Tell me more about the Eight of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. Tell me more about this on Sagittarius end here. Oh yeah, this is what woke you up. Look at that, the Tower. I want more clarification on this. So this Eight of Pentacles and Queen of Cups energy led you to the Tower. Oh yeah, this is a person. I think this is a person. Six of Cups. This could be someone you have a very like, what's the word for that? Sweet actually is the word for that. You have a very sweet, soulful connection with this person. They shook you up with the Tower. They shook you out of your muddied waters. I think the Four of Cups is actually your muddied waters. You could work with this person, or there's been a lot of like time and investment here with you and this person, or some sort of financial tie. Tell me about the Tower. Let's see how they shook you up. Oh wow. Nine of Cups. Oh wow, Sag. This person woke you up to like what makes you truly happy, what makes you feel alive, what makes you excited. I'm curious about this Four of Cups muddied water for you. Tell me about the Four of Cups. What is this Four of Cups energy here for Sag? And then we'll move on to another element. Let me just check the time. Tell me about this muddied waters, the Four of Cups. Well, clarity. Clarity about the muddied waters. Some of you guys could resonate with the Lotus. Sometimes muddied waters gives me that vibe, especially with this whole like coming back to life, right? Four of Cups and Ace of Swords. Four of Cups and the Ace of Swords. Yep, there you are in hermit mode with your energy withdrawn. Yeah, so Eight of Cups, Hermit, and the Ten of Wands. So when you become aware of like the muddied waters and you're like, wait, I thought I had my shit figured out. I thought I was cool with things. You got this Queen of Cups energy shaking things up for you, like waking things up in you. And then so you withdraw your energy to figure it out, right? With the Hermit card. And the Ten of Wands also says that there's a big burden here with the muddied waters. And it feels like, again, the burden is just like not feeling alive, like not feeling that like excitement for new things kind of vibe, right? And the Eight of Cups, right? That speaks of movement forward and out of that. Maybe even like some changes that may need to be happening. Yeah, Five of Pentacles. Yeah, Sag, to be honest, it almost has this feeling too, like some of you may have almost become like desensitized to this kind of state, thinking it was fine until someone showed you it wasn't fine. Oh, well, yeah, that's what it is. Oh my God, that's what it is. You thought you had clear waters, and then this Queen of Cups basically just doing whatever they do with you, showed you they were muddied. You thought they were clear, and they showed you they were muddied. And it was like, oh, wait a minute. Like, what? And then you go and try to figure it out, and you get brought back to life. Wow. Very cool. Okay. Where were we? Oh yeah. Earth or water? Okay. Speaking of, get a little sip. All right. Clyde, stop. Keeps hitting me with his tail. Earth or water? I'm gonna go with Earth. Let's go with Taurus. Let's go with Taurus. Cats are so funny, man. Scoozy. Taurus. What's going on for Taurus? Thank you for doing all the signs. You're welcome. You're welcome. Taurus. What's going on for my bulls? So not shocking Taurus, I'm getting food. We are coming off the 4th of July. Maybe you're eating leftovers, I don't know. Taurus. Really? They said yeah. Okay. 9 of Cups and Queen of Cups. So a couple things, Taurus. I did get food pretty quickly. Nothing wrong with that, by the way. We know you all love food. 9 of Cups can be a little indulgent. Be careful that you're not doing some emotional eating or food-ertainment. Okay, I'm getting that a little bit with the Queen of Cups being here. Queen of Cups is also Cancer. Yeah, honestly, Taurus, what this is giving me is like just feeling really, really good and having a good time with how you're feeling. Again, just be mindful not to overdo it, okay? Sometimes 9 of Cups and the Queen of Cups, they have a shared shadow. I think is a good way to say that. A shared shadow of codependency, okay? And addictive behavior, so just be mindful of that. Anything else for Taurus? I think I had seen that some of you guys were asking what deck this is. This is the Midnight Magic deck, which should be below. Anything else for Taurus? Getting something about hands. I think that's more of a Gemini thing. Maybe you're dealing with a Gemini. Could have that in your, could have Gem in your chart. Something about hands. This sounds so weird. Someone's hands stick out. I don't know. Not in a bad way. I don't think. I don't know. Someone's hands are being noticed. I don't know who needs to hear that. To be honest, Taurus, it actually, oh, interesting. Okay, I'm getting a couple of things with that. Someone's attracted to someone's hands. I don't know. To each their own. Humans are fascinating. But some of you may have like a sensitivity to touch, which you are Taurus, you rule the senses. And so I find that Tauruses, with their sensualness and also ruling the senses, you are more sensitive to touch than most people, is what I find. Doesn't have to be true for you. It's just something that is coming up to be spoken about. So maybe you're noticing someone's hands because you're like, ooh, touch me? I don't know. Like I said, Taurus, you're feeling pretty good over here. So you're kind of in the mode of receiving pleasure right now. Wanting to receive pleasure. Taurus. Any messages or insights for Taurus? Ooh. Taurus, you got a lot of water. We have the moon. You have 3 water cards here, and then we have the 6 of Swords, which is Aquarius, but usually has a water component, right? Because it's usually crossing the river. What's going on with you? Nikki, thank you for the $4.99. Thank you so much. Thank you for your tone and energy. Oh, thank you. You're welcome. I'm just being me. I'm like, it's the hands. There's something about the hands, Taurus. Uh, this moon energy is like really standing out, especially next to the Queen of Cups. This is how it looks on my table. Nine of Cups, here, Nine of Cups, Queen of Cups, and the moon. But then behind the moon is making peace with something, moving on, or even like opening the mind, finding a peace, finding an internal peace. So Taurus, I will say that like I do find for the most part, you're just in a state of pleasure right now. And it's very soothing to you with the moon behind, with the Six of Swords behind the moon. Okay. What's my sign? I'm a Scorpio. Sun. To be clear. I feel like there's something else going on with that moon. It's bugging me. But I see you soothing yourself right now. I see you soothing yourself. But I keep getting pleasure, like you're wanting more and more pleasure. Tell me about the moon. You could be missing a Cancer. Ooh, and as I said that, Ten of Swords. Hold on. Tell me about the Ten of Swords with the moon. For Taurus. Tell me about the Ten of Swords. You have all water and air. Tell me about the Ten of Swords and the moon. For Taurus. Tell me about the Ten of Swords and the moon. It's being elusive. And the Star. Taurus, you guys feel very different today than you normally feel. You feel like you're a pure water sign, almost is how you're presenting here. And while I feel that there's like a soothing of self happening, indulging even, pleasure, seeking pleasure, wanting to receive more pleasure, it's happening with the moon, the Ten of Swords, and the Star with the Six of Swords behind the moon. So it's like, again, I feel like you're doing this because it's almost like you're licking your wounds, or you're trying to like self-soothe from something painful. When the Ten of Swords came out the moon, I almost had the feeling of like you may be cutting away some illusions or being done with certain illusions or certain feelings, with the Star being here also very healing. But I think the Six of Swords is going to tell us more about that. So tell me about the Six of Swords for Taurus. Jesus, death. Oh, I need another one, Spirit. Death with the Six of Swords. Oh, he moved. Six of Swords and death for Taurus. You know, Taurus, it's giving me the vibe too that you're not really engaging with people that much, or at least you're not sharing about this. I feel like you're having a moment where you're really trying to let something go, like something really big, or you've gone through a really painful situation. And I think you're coming to terms with it. Some of you finally coming to terms with it. But I feel like it's happening in such secret. Like even when I'm tuning into your energy, it feels so quiet. It feels very quiet. Tell me about Six of Swords and death. Six of Wands. You're doing it. You're doing it. There's really not much else coming through, Taurus. So again, however this is coming through for you, I just feel like Tauruses, you're giving yourself as much pleasure as you can while you truly make peace with something that I think you've really struggled to make peace with. And it seems like something painful. Painful or a really drastic change that requires you to take some time to process it. But the Six of Swords and Six of Wands, like you are moving past it. You are. We have the Knight of Swords in the bottom though. Oh, with the Ten of Pentacles and the Three of Swords. There may have been a really painful, even shocking conversation you had with someone that ended with the Three of Swords and even the Ten of Swords. And it was it was honest, but maybe not so tactful, maybe very blunt. Sorry, Taurus. All right. Virgo. Virgo. What's going on for my Virgos? Any messages or insights for Virgo? What's going on for Virgos? Any messages or insights for Virgo? Virgo, any messages or insights for Virgos at this time? Oh, that like shook the home. Virgo, wow. We have Judgment and Queen of Wands. That came out really quickly before I could even really get into your, like really see your energy. Why is Judgment here with the Queen of Wands? Hearing friend or foe. Some of you guys could be making a judgment call on someone in your life. If you can trust them or not. That's absolutely for some of you. For most of you, it feels like a call you're making for yourself. Tell me about judgment. Like on yourself. Tell me about judgment. Judgment is also like awakening to something. E. Is this going to come up for every earth sign? E. 10 of Swords. Yeah. Oh. So Virgo, we don't even have that many cards out yet, but you are being illuminated to, or you're feeling the need to make a call about like putting a finality to something. Some of you, it's like, it's a question of, is someone your friend or someone your foe? It's for some of you. Some of you, it's something that you want to end for your own sense of empowerment. Even if it's like a habit or something like that. It's going to be different for all of you. But with judgment usually implies a massive nudge from spirit. It also usually implies karmic energies, transformative energies like Pluto, fire is behind the Judgment card. Tell me about the Ten of Swords attached to Judgment here for Virgo. Ooh. Oh, look. Two of Cups. Justice and the Ten of Wands. The roughest tens. 10 of Swords and 10 of Wands here. Yeah, Virgo, I can't shake it. It's like you're trying to figure out if someone's a friend or if someone's a foe. You hear that? Some of you, there was something that happened a while ago with the 10 of Swords here, which is also why you have 2 of Cups with Justice. Like, was that right? Was that not right? Almost like the question itself is creating a 10 of Wands. So yeah, I'm getting it a couple ways. I'm getting it that scenario, like something happened already, however long ago. And now it's a question of like, wait, was that right or was that not right? Were they my friend or were they my foe? Some of you are just making that call now, if you need to like with somebody or not. I thought it was going to be something just for yourself, but with the 2 of Cups here, that's pretty explicitly tied to a person. Okay. But you're the Queen of Wands here, I want to say. Tell me about this 2 of Cups. Tell me about this 2 of Cups for Virgo. Yeah, 7 of Pentacles. Evaluating, trying to figure it out. 7 of Pentacles, that's what it is. It's taking a moment of pause to really look at something. Tell me more about the 2 of Cups. Tell me more about the 2 of Cups. Nine of Pentacles. And between the Nine of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles, there's a Two of Pentacles. Friend, foe, what do I do? Was this right? Is this not right? Again, whether something happened already in the past and you're just debating with yourself if it was right or not, or you're debating now about someone in your life and you're like, oh shit, are they my friend or are they my foe? But to clarify the Two of Pentacles, here's the evaluating happening. Here's the decision about the evaluation taking place. But Nine of Pentacles, you're doing it from the space of like, well, really wanting to maintain your foundation, wanting to maintain your sense of security, confidence, self-esteem. Some of you like maintain the integrity of your energy. Some of you, it's to maintain the integrity of your finances. If something happened with this person in the past, maybe that was part of it. Maybe there was a financial component here. If this is someone currently in your life that you're questioning, maybe that's what you're wondering. Like, is this person, like, can I be a Nine of Pentacles with this person or not? Some of you, it's more about independence than money. Like independence, codependence versus like, right? Someone trying to like, you know, money issues, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Let's look at the Queen of Wands. Tell me about the Queen of Wands. Three of Pentacles. More Pentacles. Can I get another card for the Queen of Pentacles? I was like Queen of Pentacles. Can I get another card for the Queen of Wands with this Three of Pentacles? Three of Pentacles sometimes can be my card of mending. Yeah, and Page of Cups. Page of Cups, Three of Pentacles, Queen of Wands. Page of Cups is the card of emotional honesty, sometimes an apology. And it's coming with the Three of Pentacles. It's coming with like, do we work on this? Do we not work on this? So Virgo, I'm getting a lot of different situations here, but for some of you, I see that something happened in the past with someone. Could have been a friend, a lover, a coworker, a family member. Okay. And you're debating if it was right or not right. But I also see that's coinciding with the potential of an approach to talk about it. They may approach you, you may approach them. I'm seeing it both ways. There's like, I'm getting so many situations here. If this is someone currently in your life, you're debating, it's like you're trying to figure out if they're healthy for you or not, essentially, if they're good for you or not. And I see a conversation about it. But for those where there's like, oh, something happened in the past and it's time to mend things, there's totally an apology for that. An attempt. I'm not going to say apology, attempt. There's an attempt to mend things here. And we have Five of Cups at the bottom. So sadness, grief, loss, regret. With the King of Wands energy. So we now have the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands here. So, you know, that kind of, you know, hits it home, doesn't it? The King of Wands and the Queen of Wands, the two people involved in this situation. And one person's in their feelings about it. And the other is trying to figure it out. I'm just looking at the bottom. High Priestess, Four of Wands, and Death. Virgos, anytime situations like this come up, I always tell people be careful, right? Just be careful. People do change, but when they really want to, right? When they really want to, misunderstandings happen. They do. Humans are human. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm a Scorpio. I'm a little paranoid, right? Just being totally frank about it. I am. Because I know what human brains are like. I know what human nature is like. And for people who don't put a lot of like time and energy into changing, they don't change that much, right? They really don't. Just saying. And I'm pointing this out because with this King of Wands and their being in their feelings about this, we have the High Priestess, Four of Wands, and Death, which tells me that someone has gone through a massive shift in their own foundation or in a relationship. or some sort of like commitment. Because Four of Wands is like what we do with other people, how we celebrate with people, how we live with people, how we gather with people. And this King of Wands, oh, I just glitched. Oh, it just got glitchy as I was trying to talk about this. And this King of Wands has gone through some sort of shift in that part of their life, but it's behind the High Priestess, which means it's not spoken. So, use your discernment. If you're on the receiving end of this and you're trying to figure out if like maybe I can trust them, maybe it's okay, maybe like that's what I mumble at you. All right, Capricorn. Oh, no space. Okay. Cappy. What's going on for the sea goats? Thank you, G. I appreciate that. It's very flattering. All right. G, not G. Capricorn distracted me. Capricorn. Capricorn. Any messages or insights for Capricorn? I don't trust him. Not again. Yeah. I mean, hey, forgiveness is something that I think everyone should learn to be capable of investing in. Right? I think just being a human, I think we would all be better off if everyone knew how to do that, how to forgive and let go. Doesn't mean you gotta invite people back in. They can come to your door, but they don't need to come into your house. Right? Anyway, Capricorn. Capricorn, what's going on for my sea goats here? Ooh. This just showed me horse racing. Maybe you like horse racing. Maybe you like horses. It feels more like maybe you think you're in a race. Maybe you feel like you're in a race. Maybe you're having to compete at work. Maybe you're up against the clock. It's giving me anxiety. You know what I mean? Like adrenaline, I guess is a better way to say that. Capricorn. What's going on for my Capricorns? Any messages or insights for Capricorn? Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, you're at it hard here with the Eight of Pentacles. This is Virgo energy. This is a card of mastery. This is a card of devotion, burning the candle at both ends. This is a lot of work and attention and focus. Yeah, Cappies, it feels like you're really in something. It almost has that feeling like I just got to finish my race. That's interesting. I just got to finish my race. I just got to make it to the end. I just got to get there. I got to see this through. That's how it's feeling. Yeah, Ace of Pentacles. Maybe you're expecting a big payout or a big reward for running your race, right? Capricorn. Wow, another 8. We have 8 of Wands. Okay, 2 8s. Pretty synchronistic and also pretty fortuitous. 8 of Wands is unstoppable movement. It is usually a card that can indicate like success in some way or expansion in some way or forward movement and progression. Whatever this is you've been devoted to so prominently, you believe in it. You've put in so much and you're like, it's going to get me there. It's going to get me there. I'm going to get there. Yeah. Ace of Pentacles is still at the bottom, but now we have a 3. This is interesting because Cappies, I almost have this feeling like, you know, kind of like with horse races, right? It's like they're competing, but like they're in their individual stall, they're in their individual lane, they're doing their thing, they're focused on their own race, right? 3 of Pentacles is not like that. 3 of Pentacles is like, hey, let's join lanes. You know what I mean? So it's really interesting because like when the Three of Pentacles first came out, it almost felt like hitting a wall, is what it almost felt like. Kind of like if you're running a race and then someone comes into your lane, it's like, what the fuck? You know, it kind of like trips you up a little bit. There's something weird about this Three of Pentacles. It's been coming out for everybody today. But the Eight of Pentacles and the Eight of Wands, this is like you on track. This is you like gaining speed, gaining momentum. Like you're getting there and you know you're getting there. Again, Ace of Pentacles still on the bottom, which feels like the end goal. But then you have this Three of Pentacles. Again, it's come out a lot today, but Three of Pentacles is plans, it's friends, it's networks, it's starting to cultivate something. It's starting to really build something up, but you've already been doing that. Is someone wanting to join your lane? Is that what's going on here? Spirit. First of all, let's clarify the Eight of Pentacles. We'll get to it. We'll see what's going on here. So I have the Eight of Pentacles here for Capricorn. Yeah, Four of Wands. Again, whatever this is you've been so devoted to, it's also been tied to your sense of stability. Could even be literally work, right? Could just be straight up work. You could have been trying to really build up your own prosperity here, like material stuff. Sometimes Four of Wands is also what we do with other people, like I mentioned in the last reading. But it feels more like the bones, which is very Capricorn, actually. It feels more like securing Four of Wands. Tell me more about Four of Wands with the Eight of Pentacles. There's something about that. Oh, shit. Oh, Cappies, no wonder you're like hyping yourself up. Like, I just gotta get there, just gotta get there. We have Eight of Swords and the Nine of Wands. This is you really feeling the, how do I want to say that? Not the exhaustion, but kind of like, okay, I've been doing it. Oh my God, I'm still at it. I'm still at it. The Eight of Swords also says that like there is a party that's getting fatigued and a party that maybe even be getting a little pessimistic. But you're trying. You're still going. That's what it is. You're getting a little discouraged. But you're like, I'm going. We're doing this. I'm doing this. Tell me about the Eight of Wands. Also with the Four of Wands and the Nine of Wands, there's a Five of Wands energy there, which also kind of has that feeling of like competition or just like trying to run your race, right? Tell me about the Eight of Wands. Tell me about the Eight of Wands. Page of Wands. So I don't really know much about like racing or anything, but Eight of Wands and Page of Wands, this feels almost like, what do they call that? Like the second wind or whatever, like endorphins kick in, right? And you're like, oh, suddenly I have like a little burst of energy. Maybe I can make it over this last leg, this last hump, this last hurdle, this last whatever. That's kind of what I feel with that, with the Eight of Wands and the Page of Wands. Tell me more about the Eight of Wands and the Page of Wands. Like some sort of encouragement comes in. Yeah, look at that. Like a burst of fire with the Knight of Wands and then the Fool. It's like, yeah, you get some sort of second win here that gives you what you need to make it. But with the Fool and the Knight of Wands, it is like that rush. It almost feels like a jump. Like now you're not running to the finish line. Now you're about to jump to the finish line. What is giving you this? Wait, what is giving Capricorn the second win? Because I can see you super discouraged over here, but you're trying anyway. What's giving Capricorn the second win? What's giving a lot of fire here? Oh. Your luck is changing. Wheel of Fortune and the Empress, that's your second win. Wheel of Fortune is Jupiter, Empress is Venus. So this actually could have already happened. I only say that because Venus just moved and moved into Gemini, as we know, but also Jupiter moved into Cancer in June. So maybe some of you, this second wind has already come to you. Some of you, it could be the support of an Empress, just being a rah-rah cheerleader. I don't know, just being present with you. That's for some of you. But I see you making it, essentially. And we still have Ace of Pentacles at the bottom with Judgment. Let's look at this. What's with this Three of Pentacles? Is this the after party? Like, what is this Three of Pentacles? I'm loving all the analogies here today for you, Capricorn. Tell me about the Three of Pentacles for Capricorn. Yeah, if this is just like literally you just out of nowhere start feeling better with that Empress energy, it just feels like suddenly you just feel just like things are suddenly easier. I keep getting it probably had to do with like Venus transits or Jupiter transits. But anyway, Three of Pentacles. What is this Three of Pentacles? I can't get over it. There's like a big question mark here of something that feels odd about this. But now that I'm tuning into it, it almost feels like the aftermath of finishing your race. Like an after party. Analogous, right? What about the Three of Pentacles? Lovers. 10 of Cups at the bottom. And you are making it to the end with an Ace of Pentacles, which normally with the Ace of Pentacles, you either build that up yourself or you get involved with other people to create the three, right? So whatever, I hope you're hearing it in there with the analogy here. However you end up finishing your race, when you finish it, you have an Ace of Pentacles. And it seems like you leave the track with this pentacle, and now you're going to do something with the pentacle. Tell me about Three of Pentacles and Lovers. Ace of Wands. You're feeling good. You're feeling lit up. You're feeling rejuvenated, excited. Very different from being discouraged over here. Now we have the Emperor and Empress here. Two of Wands and the Emperor. Yeah, I feel like this is the after party. This is the celebratory party. I'm surprised the Three of Cups isn't out here. I see you doing something with that pentacle. Whatever it is that you're gaining by finishing your race, it could just be literally, maybe you're just having a new beginning of some kind after a really difficult period where things were really hard and suddenly things are really easy and you're like, oh, thank God. Now I can just like take it a little easier and I can have a little fun and I can do something different or do something new or just enjoy this easier period. Okay. Some of you are reaching the end of your race with something tangible, like a lump sum of money that you can invest in or do something with, or I don't know, like a new friend or something, right? And you can go and do something with that. We still have 10 of Cups at the bottom. Can I get a final card here for Capricorn on this side? Yeah, the World. And then we have 8 of Cups on the bottom. So Capricorns, no matter which way you cut it, whether you are just suddenly, things are just finally easier and a really difficult part of your journey or cycle or phase of your life is now over, I see you enjoying yourself. I see you like, yeah, I see you enjoying yourself. And taking this like renewed, easy energy and building off of it with confidence. Some of you with an Empress, right? Others of you, if like this race was like a goal that you were trying to complete or finish, whatever you're gaining by completing this phase, this cycle, maybe a job, maybe a project, you do have something tangible that you can work off of. So some of you guys, this could have been a project that you like intended to like just like make money off of, and then you're gonna go take that money and invest it elsewhere, right? Either way, I see you entering a new cycle after this that is easier than what you've been dealing with. Probably for, I'm getting the number 8, maybe like the last 8 months. Hopefully not 8 years. Hopefully not 8 years. 8 months, 8 years. Oh, take that as you will. But I see things being a lot easier for you. Okay. Moving on to water. Cancer. 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 Any messages or insights for Cancer? Any messages or insights for Cancer? Ooh, Cancer. I don't know if this is going to come up in your reading, but it's just coming up to be said. You know, it is your birthday season. Happy birthday, by the way. Jupiter is in your sign as well, which is only making you feel good about yourself. Only know that by speaking to other Cancers. I am getting this feeling, though, there may be some people like, maybe rubbing up against you the wrong way. Maybe trying to even provoke you. Because you're a Cancer, and since I want to say you're almost carrying Jupiter energy right now, that could be aggravating some people, or some people might be wanting to like dim you a little bit right now. I think you'd be aware of that. I don't think it'd be a shock. Cancer. Any messages or insights for Cancer? Cancer. Any messages or insights for my Cancer babies? For the Cancers. Yeah, Cancer, I can't shake it. I'm getting this feeling like there's some people in your life that, or maybe it's just one person. I just heard triage. I want to say that want you to like, it's like they want your energy. That's what it is. They want your energy. You could just be very radiant right now, again, in that Jupiterian Cancer energy. And I think some people want your energy. It feels very much like that. Or they want you to like nurture them or even take care of something for them. Cancers, you over that. I know y'all learned that lesson already. Not to be doing too much of that. Cancer. Interesting. Justice. That's your first card out here. Hold on, let me make sure the chat is working. Sometimes it glitches out. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, it froze on me. Sorry, guys. Justice, Libra energy. Justice is on your side, I want to say. You are in good karmic standing right now, I almost want to say. Oh, you're in order? That's a weird way to say that. There's something about this Cancer. It's giving me a little bit like you do kind of have the high ground in something. Some of you, this is actually you like being in your sovereignty, which is interesting too. We're doing water. We did all the other ones already. Ooh, Cancer. Your major came out. 2 cards and both of them are majors. You got something interesting going on here. Cancer, I feel like you're being elevated. I feel like that Jupiter Cancer energy is really working for you here. Okay. Chariot can be movement or triumph, right? If you have any court dealings going on, you're going to come out on top. You're going to be looking pretty good, actually. I keep getting elevation. Elevation. You're going through some major improvements and upgrades in your life. And you deserve it. You deserve it. Cancer. Some of you guys are getting a new car. Some of you guys are winning a car. That's cool. I want to win a car. I never win at those things. Like raffles and stuff. I never win at those things. I don't know. Some people are just lucky. Anyway. Any other messages or insights for Cancer? Ooh! Oh, Cancer. Oh, you are totally going places. Look at this shit. We got the star. I'm excited for you. Oh, you almost made me squeal. Justice, Chariot, and the star. Yeah, definitely elevation. Because Justice is a card that comes out when order has been achieved. Right? Things have been put right. Karmic debts have been settled in some way or another. And then the Chariot is, I can move on now. I can move past this. I can move forward. Chariot can also be a card of ascension, right? It's like uh like the Merkaba. It's like, why was that so hard to say? And the star. The star is wish fulfillment. It's healing. It's hope. It's also my North Node card. Sometimes it can have a little flavor of fate, at least for me as a reader. Yeah, this is like you're balanced. You start having movement and then you get elevated. It's just like boop, 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 boop. Look at that. That's so cool. Oh, sorry. Super excited for you. And then we have the Three of Wands with the star. So Cancer, something else that I'm getting interesting with this, with the Three of Wands, because Three of Wands is like, you're watching things shift around you in your life. You're watching things grow. You're watching things unfold and like expand and come to you. That's the Three of Wands energy. It's also optimism and anticipation. Even before all of this happens, you just know it's going to happen. You just know. You're like, mm-hmm. You're like, yeah, I know. I know good shit's happening for me. Cancer, I'm really loving it. Some of you, this is interesting. Some of you, this may happen in like 3 different events. I only say that because like I said, justice is order has been had. Something's balancing in your favor, right? Chariot is movement. It's movement, it's progression, it's moving on, it's becoming victorious in some way, but it has like a masculine energy behind it of actual movement, usually like laterally, right? But then the star is, again, receiving a blessing or a wish, or even elevating in some way. So you do have 3 very different energies that are like boom, boom, and boom. Cancer, this is your week, baby. This is your week. Yeah, and I just keep getting, you're like, I know it's coming. You intuitive little crab. 6 of Swords on the bottom too. This is peace. This is forgiveness. This is moving on. This is opening the mind. Traveling even. You have 2 cards indicative of travel with 6 of Swords and Chariot. You may travel just for fun. Some of you may move, right? Like maybe some of you guys, this like balancing of things, maybe you're going to get some funds that will allow you to move or to buy a car. That keeps coming up here. And then because of that, because of some sort of like movement in your life, or again, purchasing of something, you get to have the star. Oh, this is good. Okay, let's clarify. Tell me about justice for Cancer. Yeah, that's crazy. I'm just seeing it. That's crazy. Tell me about justice. Oh yeah, Cancer, you deserve this. You deserve this. This is a long time coming. 5 of Cups. 5 of Cups. There was something. There's going to be different levels for you, but with justice being the main card here, like, oh, I can't, sorry, so many words. Ugh. With justice being the main card here, the balance that's being restored, it's being restored to a 5 of Cups experience that you've had. Which also says that there was something about it that was not fair, that was unjust, right? Some of you, I keep getting money. So like, hang in there with me. I'm getting a few things. Some of you, I'm getting like a major loss of money, or like someone stole something, broke something. If they broke something, it was like expensive. Okay. It was a lot, to the point where you were like, this is actually going to affect my life. Like maybe someone crashed your car, right? Something like that. And I don't know, they couldn't fix it. They had no money, whatever. It's like, you know what I mean? Some sort of big loss financially for some of you. Could even have been a job. Others of you, it was just like straight up heartbreak. Like straight up, someone just stabbed you in the heart because they could. Right? I'm wondering how that's gonna cut. Like, well, karmic balance is being restored here. Whatever this was, you did like, and I know life isn't fair, right? This is just how the wheel turns. But it really wasn't fair. Was what I'm getting here. It was really not fair. Especially if it was like something about a relationship. Yeah, it just feels like someone stabbed you in the heart because they could. which is really shitty. There was something else here. Thank you. Just a reminder. So I think I spoke about this in the astrology portion. Orcus. So Orcus is going to be working with Mars this week, more towards the end, but is working with the full moon in Capricorn. Orcus is a karmic balancer. Orcus wants vengeance, actually, is what Orcus wants. It's like, it's Plutonian, but it's not as refined as Pluto. It wants vengeance for karmic imbalances and wrongdoings and corruption. And I feel Orcus is at work here for you. Now, Orcus is moving from, actually, no, I think Orcus is at 15 degrees Virgo all week. And then as Mars moves, it starts to work with Orcus. So understand that if your Cancer placements are, can I see everything again? I think is it 10 to 15 or 15 to 20? Do I still have my notes here? Don't mind the noise. Yeah, 10 to 15. If you have Cancer placements 10 to 15 degrees, more specifically on that like 15 degree point, I would really pay attention to where you have those personal planets in your houses for where this karmic balancing is going to be playing out. Okay. Yeah, I'd pay attention to that, especially if you have any angles there, or if you have Virgo there too. But this is a Cancer read. So anyway, there's that. Tell me about the Chariot. So you're going to get balance there. And then you're going to get some forward movement, some growth. Tell me about Chariot. Or some travel of some kind. Tell me about Chariot. Something in your life is going to move. Maybe in a way that it hasn't in a while. Tell me about Chariot for Cancer. Again, you know. Chariot with the Queen of Swords. If this is about, again, court stuff, legal stuff, I see you being a very detached Cancer about it, as you should. You know, those things are never pleasant. But with the Queen of Swords, I'm just getting that you just know. But can I get another card? I know Cancer knows, but can I get another card for what this Chariot is for Cancer? Yeah, Six of Pentacles, balance. Balance and being and receiving. Balance and receiving some support, some help, some resources, whether that's money, or even people like friends. That could even be the case here. And again, some of you may initiate a move because of this balance that's being restored for you, this justice that you're receiving. Let's look at the star then. Spirit's being very vague. Maybe it's for a reason. Tell me about the star for Cancer. I swore I just felt Clyde there. Oh, you are there. Okay. I looked and he wasn't there. Tell me about the star for Cancer. Page of Wands. We like that. And Strength. This is interesting. So on one hand, I feel like there's a lot that's going to open up for you that's going to allow you to have some fun. It's going to allow you to play a little bit. I also want to say to spend some time being creative. But what's interesting is that the Strength card is here. And I'm like, why is that there? Why is Strength here with the Page of Wands? Why is Strength here? There's definitely some new horizons that are opening up for you. Death. Why is Death here with Strength for Cancer? Thank you, Spirit. Hangman. So it's just repeating what I've already said. So you've had to be very resilient, Cancer. You've had to be very brave too, I want to say, with the Strength card being here. That's why it threw me, because it felt like I need to be brave. I need to be courageous. I need to like hold on. And I was like, but this is where things get easy. I was like, why is that here? And it's like, oh, Death to the Hanged Man. What was once like kind of stuck or stagnant in your life that felt like you just couldn't catch a break, or like things just weren't easy, is suddenly easy. And you don't have to be as strong. You can be more childlike. You can have more fun. You got more space. You got more leeway for this, for the Page of Wands energy. Cancer, some of you, this karmic balancing, I'm wondering if someone's going to gift you something, like an actual gift. Let me look into that really quickly. Can you clarify the Six of Pentacles or Justice? With one more clarifier. Thank you. No, Ace of Wands. You're feeling, it's making you feel good and excited about life again. Not to say you weren't, but it's giving you more vitality back. One more. Oh, 10 of Cups. Happy life. Happy life, happy wife for some of you. Yeah, Cancer, they're being vague about it for a reason, so I'm just trusting it. But you're going to get some sort of karmic justice for something from your past that just was really not okay. And felt like a big loss, whether it was financial or emotional, or again, like a betrayal even. And then you get to have some forward movement from where you were kind of like things were kind of stuck or kind of rigid or kind of rough. And you know it's going to happen. You know it's about to play out. And then you reach a state where you have freedom to play. You have freedom to relax, where you don't have to be as strong. You don't have to be as brave and resilient, because your life does get easier. But again, they're being vague about the details. Like, I'm getting stuff about money. I'm getting stuff about cars. I'm getting stuff about moving, like homes. I'm getting stuff about gifts. I'm getting stuff about like support from other people. Either way, shit's looking good. All right, Scorpio. Got a little sucked into your reading, Cancer. I just got excited for you as well. All right, Scorps. Scorpios. Scorpio. Any messages or insights for Scorpio? Scorpio, there's a little hummingbird outside. This hummingbird, I feel the need to share this. So hummingbirds have been coming up in the collective a lot. We've seen that card come out a lot. And I would say like the last maybe 5 days, maybe last week, there's been a single hummingbird, oh, there he goes, that likes to perch on its telephone wire. I think that's what it's called. I've never seen a hummingbird do that. The first time I saw him, it took me a minute because I looked over and I was like, that's a really small bird. and then he like turned like a side profile and it was like I could see the nose and I was like, oh shit, that's a hummingbird. Like you always see them in flight, right? What, buddy? What? You always see them in flight, right? Like moving. And he has just been chilling. And I realized I've never seen a hummingbird just chilling. I don't know. It's been interesting. Anyway, Scorpio. But yeah, he like sits on the same wire every day. I don't know. I think we're becoming friends. Scorpio. Kidding. Sort of. Scorpio. Any messages or insights from us Scorpios? Some of y'all need to get back to the water or start working with water or get back to spiritual bathing. They're just bringing up water, which is your element. It's going to help with some creative juices, I want to say. Ooh, or some other kind of juices. Knight of Wands. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Sagittarius energy. We know the Knight of Wands. This is passion. That's passion. That's wild. That's fun. Energy, but it's usually someone in movement. This could be you. This could be someone else. Let's get deeper into it. Something stuck out on the card that I've never noticed before. It's the salamander eating the ladybug. So salamander is like basically the mascot of the Wands suit, right? Of the fire element in tarot. But yeah, he's like trying to eat the ladybug. I don't know. It's just standing out to me. There could be something in there for you about salamanders or ladybugs, if that's a synchronicity. But it's giving me a little bit of that, like, yeah, I want, right? I want energy. I want that. Any other messages or insights for Scorpio? Remember, Scorpio, Lilith and Juno are in your sign. Oh, and they're working with Mars, your ruling planet. I'm just saying, if things get a little lusty for you, well, I don't know, enjoy it. Scorpio. Any messages or insights for Scorpio? Interesting. We have, I'm seeing things. I'm sorry, guys. We have Knight of Wands and King of Swords. I can't even describe what I just saw. How do I describe that? Because I thought the candle went out because I saw just a quick little, almost like net like material. Like, you know, sometimes when a candle goes out and like, you know, you get smoke. Sometimes if you just catch it like in the corner of your eye, it looks kind of weird, right? Or if it's like black smoke. And then I looked down, I'm like, oh no, the candle's still lit. I don't know, Scorpio. There may be a little bit of magic in the air for you. But Knight of Wands and King of Swords is a Sag and Aquarius. King of Swords is somebody who is very clear and direct in what they know and what they want to say. Compared with the Knight of Wands, they're also very passionate about what they want to say. They're also very determined about what they want to do. Okay. This absolutely could be you. I'm starting to get the vibe that it's not. Let's keep going. Ooh. Hold on a second. Bubsy, what is it? What? Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Oh. Okay. Sometimes if I hold him, he just will get annoyed and then he'll like calm down. I fed him right before the live to make sure that I wouldn't have to get up to feed him. Is it attention? What? He's getting all antsy in your reading, Scorpio. You want attention? I think he just wants attention. This King of Swords might just want attention because the card that just came out for you for this King of Swords, Scorpio, I almost said for you. So again, some of this is you, some of this is someone you're dealing with. Take it as you will. But the Five of Wands, someone's feeling some tension. This King of Swords is feeling tension, which is causing the Knight of Wands, I want to say. It's causing them to do something about this tension. Could they be angry? Could they be frustrated? Yes. I'm just going to chop it up to tension because that's how it's feeling to me. So some sort of tension is building within them. And they're very aware of it. I want to say painfully aware of it. And it's like they just know that it's time to act. I want to say even time to talk about it. Eight of Wands at the bottom. Yeah, he just wanted attention. Okay. Tell me about this Five of Wands. Five of Swords. Jeez. 2 5s, Scorpio, so usually indicative of like tower energy or a big change. This feels like this has been building within the King of Swords. These two together are not exactly great. It's kind of like rocket fuel, okay? Essentially. Five of Swords can be someone who's in their ego, but not always. Like Five of Swords can also be a card of determination, right? Like someone who's just really, really determined, who's kind of all or nothing about something. But with the Five of Wands, again, there's also this building of fire. There's this building of tension around what they feel very determined about. And King of Swords with Five of Swords, that's usually someone who is very adamant in their truth, very adamant in what they know, very adamant in what they want. But it's giving me the vibe here, Scorpio, that again, this is very internal. This is all internalized until suddenly this King of Swords is just like, I need to act now. The building is too much. I need to act. Tell me about the Five of Swords. Let's clarify the Five of Swords. Yep. Wow. Ace of Wands. So this is someone who's very, again, just very sure, who's very adamant in what they think, what they believe, and what they want. Adamant. All or nothing with this Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands is a sacred flame. It's a card of purpose, usually for me as a reader. But it's also passion. It's heat. It's fire. Desire. It's a really interesting combination with the Five of Swords. Because Five of Swords can be abrasive. It can be experienced abrasively. Almost aggressive. Not saying this person's aggressive, but that's, I think, how it can be perceived. This person's got a lot of fire in them that I want to say they're not doing anything with. Tell me about the Five of Wands. Let's look at the building tension. It's like, sorry, Scorpio, I keep like needing to stop because this person's energy is like, I don't know, it's like, look, it's like that. With the Five of Swords and the Ace of Wands, I feel like whatever this like passion, desire that this person has been internalizing, I want to say has created the Five of Swords actually when it didn't need to be there. It's created a little bit of a frustration. Sorry, I'm like feeling things. I don't have the words for them. I'm getting a few things. It's created a bit of a frustration for sure. And I just saw a wall, but I'm feeling the heart, which is weird. Oh, this person could like struggle with their heart space. Absolutely, could be the case. Doesn't have to be. Oh, what are the words here? I'm getting like drawing a line in the sand. What is the drawing the line in the sand? This person may have a lot of layers to them, Scorpio. I'm starting to think this is not you. Although you have a lot of layers, so it could be you. Anyway, this King of Swords, it's like I'm feeling like, yeah, there's layers. There's layers here. There's depth here. But the Five of Swords is like, doesn't always imply that, but I can feel it. I can almost see it. What is this drawing the line? It's restraint. It's restraint? This is why it's internalized. Thank you, Spirit. My God, we finally get there. This is why this like fire has been so internalized for this person. That's why they're like this passion, this heat, this, because they want something. They clearly want something. But this is why it's just been churning and churning and churning. It's like they drew their own line in the sand. I don't know how else to describe that. It's almost like their own terms. Like this will only happen in this way or at this point. It's like I keep getting like, here's the line, here's the line, here's the line, here's the line. This person may have a lot of walls. They may have a lot of boundaries. But that's like, because they're so certain, or they think they're so certain. This is a weird vibe. Anyway, let's move on. Like get deep into that. Tell me about the Five of Wands. They said all or nothing. All or nothing. It's all or nothing with this person. Ah, thank you, Spirit. I'm like, Spirit, I'm so confused. I'm like, what are all the lines? I don't understand. It's like this person draws a lot of lines for themselves because they are an all or nothing person. I get it. I get it now. I get it now. That's why the Five of Swords is coming out here. They want something, but they're not going to act, right? Unless they are all in. Thank you. And just because they know they want something doesn't mean they're going to act, because they need to know, even though I want it, it needs to be 100%. This is a person who's 100% person. They don't half-ass anything. They don't half-ass anything. So I think this person actually is used to denying themselves things. Wow. Okay, Spirit. Yeah, they're like, yeah, you're getting to the nugget. Like the nougat. They're getting to like the nougat of the candy. This person denies themselves a lot because they are all or nothing. Okay. Let's look at the Five of Wands. Let's look at this fire build. I mean, that's what's happening, right? So it's like they want something. They're all or nothing. So the other things, they keep drawing these little boundaries for themselves. But the fire is building in very uncomfortable ways, I might add. Tell me about the Five of Wands. Okay. Spirit, you're making me work today. Scorpio, you better give me some details. I won't lie, this is a tough reading. I think because, again, this person is so complex. Chariot with the Five of Wands. Again, I feel this restraint. I feel restraint here. Yeah, because this is what's building the fire, is the desire to act. The desire to act in the Chariot energy. This person has a lot of self-control. I mean, it's really more self-denial, right? But anyway. The fire is building because they want to act. But again, they're all or nothing. So unless they're all or nothing unless they're all in, they're not going to do anything. Let's look at the King of Swords. Yeah, Two of Pentacles. Am I all in or not? The decision. Am I all in or not? Oh no. Am I all in or not? Well, they must be, because they're coming out as the Knight of Wands first and foremost. Let's look at the Knight of Wands for Scorpio. Let's look at this Knight of Wands energy. Oh Lord, more twos. Two of Swords. Am I all in or am I not? Oh my God, I feel for this person. Oh, this looks really rough. Okay. All right, let's clarify again. Talk about the Knight of Wands and the Two of Swords. King of Wands peeked out a little bit, which actually I think King of Wands is the energy that this person like could benefit from. Tell me about the Knight of Wands and the Two of Swords. Okay, it's really interesting seeing this progression, right? Because like it's such a progression. So we start with the Five of Swords and the Ace of Wands, right? They want something. I'm all in or I'm not. So like boundaries, walls, whatever. The fire starts to build because they want to act and they're not. And then they get to a point of like, I know I want this, but am I all in or not? Trying to figure that out. But then we get the most impulsive court card of the deck, the most wild, uninhibited court card of the deck, the Knight of Wands. And even here, where they're like, it's like they're slowly, what's the word for this? They're slowly breaking down, really, is what it is. Like they're slowly breaking down the defenses and getting into, well, their pure desire, right? Because that's what Knight of Wands is. Knight of Wands is the primal self. But even that, they're like, okay, now I'm in my primal self, almost overcome by the fire. And still, Two of Swords. Can I get clarification on the Knight of Wands and the Two of Swords, please? The Sun. The Sun. Illumination, happiness, new beginnings. Tell me about the Sun. Wow. Lovers. Usually this is a card of a decision for me, like making a big choice, which it's basically the third two. We have Two of Pentacles and Two of Swords right next to each other. But Lovers is also making that decision, but this is more of a big life decision. So to be fair, Scorpio, whether this is you or someone you know, what started as a spark has now become a forest fire. But I think also the reason this person has like held back so much, it is a big decision for them. It is a major decision for them. Lovers can also be a spiritually guided relationship. One more for Sun and Lovers. Too many. One more for Sun and Lovers for Scorpio. Victory. Okay. But what's the victory? What's the win? What's the victory and what's the win here? Wow. The World. Yeah, okay. So again, Scorpio, this could all be your energy. I think most of you it's not. But Lovers and the World around success with this does come with a massive change. So again, to be fair, probably is a good thing this person has been taking so much time. Tell me about I want a little more, Spirit. Tell me about the World. What this victory looks like, what this victory entails. God, definitely an end to, well, to be honest, kind of like suffering. 10 of Wands with the 10 of Pentacles and the 9 of Wands. This is like, God, this is feeling really burdened. This is feeling really exhausted, drained, overworked, overburdened with the Hanged Man. So Scorpio, I think there's another component to this where there's been a lot of demand, I want to say, demand of this energy towards responsibility with the 10 of Pentacles or work. And that might play a factor in the decision-making process. All right, I'm going to look at the Ace of Wands and then we're going to get into Pisces. Let's just start with the spark. Just tell me about the spark. It's quite a little story we got going on here. Oh, 7 of Cups and the King of Pentacles. The spark was confusing. Oh, got disconnected, sorry. Queen of Wands. Yeah, I like it's desire. It's desire, it's passion. Scorpio, this reads like a relationship to me. It could be work-related, purely work-related, and wanting to get into work that is more fulfilling and more creative, where you do feel just alive with passion, but that does also entail leaving a job or changing a job drastically. So I do see that for some of you here, but some of you, this is a relationship where there's a lot of heat. Okay. Woo, let's finally move on to Pisces. Let's get out of that. Pisces. Pisces. Any messages or insights for Pisces? What's going on for the fishies? Ah! Hold on. There we go. Pisces. Any messages or insights for Pisces? I don't know if you're out of your element, Pisces, but it's giving me that vibe a little bit. Like you're a water sign. I feel like you're almost like literally a fish out of water. Not to be cheesy, but kind of is how it's feeling a little bit. Yeah, Two of Swords. Two of Swords. This is Moon Libra energy. Yeah, just getting out of your element. Out of your element. Some of you are needing to make a decision. Some of you, I think, are just needing to see something clearly. But I keep getting you're not your normal baseline. You're a little kerfluffled. You're not really comfortable. And it's making it hard to be clear about something. Some of you, it's making it hard to make a decision. Pisces. Keep hearing things. Pisces. Wow. Geez. Okay. 10 of Swords. There's an 8 of Swords energy here. Eight of Swords is limiting beliefs, like a limited mind. Could even be fear, how we hold ourselves back mentally, but what we choose to believe or not believe. Some of you are debating about ending something. Tell me more for Pisces. Some of you, this is work related with the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, it's almost like, do I keep going or do I stop? Ace of Pentacles at the bottom. Do I keep going or do I stop? Tell me about the Two of Swords for Pisces. Ooh. Oh, Moon and the Four of Cups. For Pisces, I know y'all like the void. I know you like your alone time. I know you like to be a little lackadaisical and have a lazy Sunday here or there, or a lazy week. I get it. I totally get it. Moon and the Four of Cups is totally that vibe. That is like, I'm in bed, I'm on my couch, I'm not going nowhere. Like, right? I do want to say you are kind of in your feelings about something here. This is again clarifying the Two of Swords, needing to make a decision. Some of you may actually be having some like emotional exhaustion because you're trying to figure out what is best for you right now, but something's clearly weighing on you emotionally here. It's taking up too much of your emotional energy. That essentially is what it is. Yeah. Can I get one more for the Two of Swords? Some of you guys could have a watery moon, like Pisces moon or Cancer moon. I just say Cancer because Four of Cups is here. Can I get one more for the Two of Swords? A lot of moon energy, actually, because of the Two of Swords with Moon and Libra. Yeah, and there's your card, Hanged Man. I keep getting this as draining you. Like, being stuck on this or not having clarity is actually making you more exhausted. Tell me about the Ten of Swords. Oh. I think you're thinking ending it is the best decision. We have Queen of Cups with Justice and the Four of Swords. This is clarifying the 10. Some of you, this could actually imply needing to heal, actually. Oh, thank you. I just got two scenarios. Okay. Yeah. So for those of you who are like, you're trying to make a decision, you're like, you're really not sure if you should end something or continue something. Right now, it looks like you're leaning towards ending something is healthier for you versus keeping it up or keeping yourself invested in it. Now, some of you already went through something and you can't make sense of it. Like, you can't make sense as to why something turned out the way that it did, and it's emotionally draining you. I think it's best to like not try to figure it out too hard and just process your feelings here, okay? Because Four of Swords is like taking time out. Justice is like harmonizing. Queen of Cups is being in your feelings and healing, right, around an ending. Also, the fact that around the Two of Swords, you have this like really deep, like, I'm just going to sit here and be here and I'm exhausted kind of vibes, okay? So yeah, whether you're trying to make sense of something that you went through or you're trying to figure out if you should end something or invest in something, I see you just generally being emotionally exhausted from it. But if you're needing to make a decision, you're leaning towards ending it. Tell me about the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, death. Wow. Tell me more about death with the Eight of Pentacles. Four of Wands. Yeah, Pisces. So if you're making a decision whether to end something or to keep investing in something, I don't think you're going to be allowed to continue it either way. The Death and the Four of Wands. This is like screaming, it's not sustainable, is what this is screaming to me. It's not sustainable. It's shifted too much. It has shifted too much. It's changed too much to the point where it really can't work anymore the same way. Now, if you went through some shit and you're healing, you're trying to make sense of it, like I said, I really recommend trying not to make sense of it and just allowing yourself to just heal emotionally, do what you got to do, and then get back into your life when you're ready. Because I also see for those where that's your situation, I see you like putting in the time to like shift yourself back to a more stable state here. Yeah. I'm sorry, Pisces. I'm sorry. I work with patients, a lot going on, and I am emotionally exhausted. Yeah. It's being of service, whether it's, you're very hands-on, right? Where it's like you're in like the medical field, or like you meet with people one-on-one, whether you're handling their bodies or their minds or their souls, right? It can be exhausting. It can be really emotionally exhausting. Um, so yeah, Pisces, that's what I see here. I know it's a very like simple reading, but it's very clear. It's very clear. Yeah, especially with the emotional exhaustion that I'm seeing for anyone who's resonating with both scenarios, you need some time out. You need some time out. Definitely need some time out. Some of you, if you are emotionally exhausted from investing too much in a situation or trying to figure out a painful situation and why something happened the way that it did, I see that actually like what would benefit you with taking some time, whether it's just solo, some of you actually would benefit from a Cancerian energy with the Queen of Cups, which makes sense, right? They don't have to be a Cancer, but like just having that energy of nourishment, of mother, of like soothing, healing, emotional giving, right? That can be a friend. It doesn't have to be a love interest or anything. But I see for some of you, if you have someone like that in your life, it would be very, very healing for you, very soothing for you, very good for you. Like someone who knows how to hold that kind of space. Oh, Pisces. All right. That is it. We are complete for the day. I hope that you guys have enjoyed the reads. I hope you've enjoyed your 7/7 day. And I look forward to seeing you guys on Wednesday on Patreon for the Full Moon Cappy Hangout. And also just, in future videos to come. Readings. My books are open, I think. I'm pretty sure they're still open. If you guys are going to book with me, just make sure you read the description of what you guys are booking before you book. I have a couple like policies listed out in the description. It's just to be, so you understand what you're signing up for. Yeah. And I know that there's still 2 readings from July 5th that are still left on my docket. I intend on doing those today. If, depending on where my energy's at, usually after I do a live, I take a break to ground and clear and all that stuff. If I don't have the bandwidth tonight, I'll definitely do it first thing tomorrow. Okay. All right, guys, I love you so much. Have a great day and a great week. I'll see y'all later. Bye. Take care.